Blues hockey. Tonight's game is brought to you by Budweiser. Beechwood age for that distinctively clean, crisp taste that makes Budweiser the king of beers. For all that you do, this Bud's for you. By Royal Oaks AMC Jeep Renault. By Pizza Hut in the greater St. Louis area. By the greater St. Louis Mazda dealers. And by your 6 Metro St. Louis Dodge boys. And now, St. Louis Blues hockey.
The site is the Olympic Saddle Dome in Calgary. Tonight, it is Game 5 of the Campbell Conference Championship, a best-of-7 series, and the series is tied at 2 victories aside. The Blues take on the Flames. Hi, everybody, and we welcome you to Calgary. I'm Ken Wilson, along with Joe Micheletti. We have seen some excitement, to be sure, in this series to this point. And, Joe, here tonight, the question really becomes, is it down to a best 2 out of 3 series? Does home ice for Calgary mean anything?
Well, if you look statistically at what the playoffs have been like in the 85-86 season, we played 64 playoff games this year, and there's been 29 victories on the road. That's almost 50%. So really what it comes down to is home ice hasn't meant a thing for either of the 16 teams that have been in the playoffs, and the Blues, of course, have been 500 on the road. They've got just as good a chance to win here as do the Calgary Flames.
That has been a big surprise, I think. A lot of people would say, hey, home ice means a lot, but statistically it hasn't. How about special teams? The Blues, Joe, have struggled on the power play, especially on the road.
Well, they really have, and overall in this series, they've scored just 2 power play goals out of 17 chances. On the other side of the coin, you look at the Calgary Flames, 9 power play goals out of 17 chances, and they've only scored 17 goals in the 4-game series, with 9 of those being power play goals. So statistically, you look at the Blues on a 5-on-5 even strength situation, and they've outplayed the Flames, and I think that's one thing that the Blues have to concentrate on tonight, is not to get themselves into a penalty situation, because the Flames power play has just been tremendous.
And Rick Wamsley gets the call. He's been superb in his career against the Calgary Flames.
Well, he comes in with a record of 12 wins, 3 losses career against the Calgary Flames. He's played very well in this series. He lost the second game on a blowout, but it wasn't Wamsley's fault in my estimation. I felt he played very well, and he played an excellent game in Game 4 in St. Louis, only allowing the 2 power play goals. So Rick Wamsley, in my estimation, is a very good choice to be in goal for the Blues tonight.
This is game number 5. Game number 6, guaranteed Monday night in St. Louis. Should there be a deciding Game 7 back here in Calgary next Wednesday night. We're just about set to go. The Blues and the Flames coming right up. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. 2 teams on the ice here at the Olympic Saddle Dome. And as would be expected, a capacity crowd to watch this one. The series opened with 2 games here. The Blues won Game 1 3-2. The Flames smashed the Blues 8-2 in Game 2. And then Calgary went to the arena in St. Louis, scored a 5-3 victory. And then the most recent contest on Thursday night, going to the Blues 5-2. Rick Mahar with the 2 goals, Bernie Federko a big night, and Rick Wamsley strong in goal. So here it is, Joe Micheletti. 2 games have been won by each team. This one to be decided here tonight, then back to the arena on Monday night, and maybe, who knows, back here on Wednesday possibly.
Very possibly, Ken, the way this series has been going, with both teams having the ability to win on the road. Calgary certainly has demonstrated their ability with 3 victories in Edmonton in their semifinal series of this Campbell Conference. And the Blues also have played very well on the road, having to win on the road both in Minnesota in Game 5 and in Toronto also. So both teams have the ability to win on the road, and it should be really a great 3-game series from this point on. I really expect this series to go 3 games, Ken.
Now we're set for the anthems.
Gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watch.
Koharski, the linesman, Leon Stickle, and Ron Finn.
And tonight's goaltenders for the Blues, Rick Walmsley will get his second consecutive start, a 3.40 goals against average in this series against Calgary. And the other way, Mike Vernon, the outstanding young rookie who continues to play the majority of the games for the Calgary Flames. He'll be in goal for the Flames again tonight, Ken.
So, just about set to go. A sea of red here at the Olympic Saddle Dome. I'm not sure this town has really recovered from the upset over the Edmonton Oilers yet, but they know they've come up against another very tough foe in the Blues. It'll be Mahar facing off against Risebrow, and we are underway. Norwood on defense, controlling the puck. He's there with Natras. A pass for Fedorko intercepted. Loose puck at center ice, and Al McInnes chops it in to the Blues zone, and it's shot out by Norwood. Reeds, rink wide to Fedorko. He lifts the puck in wide of the Calgary goal. Al McInnes back for it, up to John Tonelli on the left wing in his own zone. His pass, it's Brian Sutter. Now the bearded Tonelli behind the Calgary net. Comes in front, a pass to McCowan. Up on the right wing, too far for Lanny McDonald. Here's Norwood, losing the puck at center ice. McInnes carries over the line. Poke check by Norwood. Gilmore, a lead pass for Brian Sutter in over the Calgary line. Sutter touches the puck along with McCowan, and the play is whistled dead. And I believe, Joe Micheletti, it'll be an offside call against the St. Louis Blues.
Well, they whistled it down, and they are bringing the puck back into the Blues zone. It is an offside call as Barclay Plager and Jacques Demers ready their team. By the way, Barclay and Jacques have decided to keep the same lineup as they had in Game 4, whereas the Calgary Flames have made a couple of changes. Tim Hunter, the burly winger for the Flames, is in tonight's lineup. Harry Berezin is scratched, and Robin Bartel is in as a defenseman.
Sheehy at the right point, gets the puck ahead, and then Fedorko attempts to force it out of the Blues end and does. Sheehy shoots it right back in. It comes out of the corner to the side of the net. Ramage for the Blues behind the goal, and in front, Otto mixing it up with Benning, and they're going to go. They'll battle it out. They were both going to be waved off by referee Don Koharski, and now they're clutching and grabbing at jerseys, and Joel Otto, who stands 6'4", goes 220 pounds, trying to get some rights to the body of rookie defenseman Brian Benning.
Brian Benning only 175 pounds and 5'11". Both he and Joel Otto in front of the net jousting before they finally drop their gloves.
The game just 1 minute, 2 seconds old. There's no score. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Brian Benning showing some aggression here in the early going as he goes off along with Joel Otto.
Coincidental penalties. Both teams will play it at full strength. Blues get the puck out of their end to center. Mike Eaves intercepts, drills it back in, and Natras retreats for it. Natras falls down behind the net. Hockenlund centers, and they shot right on by Colin Patterson. Walmsley the save. Sheehy a shot knocked down in front of Walmsley by Mahar and cleared up the ice. Back for it, Reinhart in his own end, plays it to center ice, brought in by Mahar. Offside, St. Louis. A very good scoring opportunity moments ago at the other end for the Clarkson product, Colin Patterson.
A great opportunity as, first of all, Natras fell down behind the net. Lube with the pass. Patterson let off a quick shot, but Walmsley was very sharp, made the initial save before Jim Pavis was able to clear the puck out of the zone.
1:02, the time of the coincidental penalties. Both Joel Otto and Brian Benning picking up 2 minutes for slashing and 5-minute fighting penalties. Now Mahar centering LaValle, and also Reeds on defense, shooting the puck in from center ice. Norwood team with Bourgeois behind the Calgary net. McInnes up on the wing, loose puck, a shot by LaValle, deflects over the Calgary net. Now McInnes behind the goal to Tim Hunter on the right wing. He loses the puck. Herb Ragland, who has come on, feeds it into the corner. Ragland Gets it to LaValle, who feeds it back. The puck comes out to center ice. Shot in offside. A delayed call. McGinnis clears the zone for Calgary. To Tim Hunter. He dumps the puck in. Ragland back for it. Loses it. Hunter centers for Calgary. And it's intercepted by LaValle and cleared out. Blues quickly changing again as McGinnis from his side of center ice lifts the puck into the blue zone. First man back over the end red line is Tim Hunter. Now it's intercepted. Taking over for the Blues and shooting the puck out is Norwood. He's going to mix it up deep in his own end with a Calgary player. As McGinnis goes to the other end of the ice to touch it, it's icing. And Norwood and Tim Hunter now high sticking each other, and they're ready to do battle back at the other end. And the linesman Leon Stickle and Ron Finn quickly attempt to separate the pair.
And that all started as Norwood was attempting to clear the puck out of his own zone, and Hunter, after Norwood had cleared the puck, Tim Hunter, who was just inserted into the lineup for tonight's game, took a run at Norwood, and they got tangled on the boards. They'll both go off. Hunter and Norwood will be going off coincidental penalties, it looks like, at this point.
These penalties coming at 2:25. No score, first period. Calgary has had the only shot on goal, and it was a tremendous scoring opportunity for 25-year-old Colin Patterson. The Blues have been making very quick line changes, trying to keep everybody very fresh. Bob Johnson, the coach of the Calgary Flames, former University of Wisconsin coach, trying to get the lines he wants on against the particular Blues lines tonight. Has the last opportunity for line shift as he is the home team. And they're set for the face-off coming up near Rick Wamsley. Fedorko is on with Sutter and Hunter. On defense, Natras and Ramage. Now Calgary getting an extra 2-minute penalty, and the Flames are going to be shorthanded. Hunter gets 2 minutes for high sticking and 2 minutes for roughing. Norwood of the Blues just 2 minutes for high sticking. Here's the Blues' first power play. Ramage skates out of his own end to center ice, drives the puck in at Karam's behind the Calgary net to the far boards. Hunter there with Fedorko. Neither can play it, and Doug Risebrough has the puck for Calgary behind his net. He's checked by Fedorko, but Jamie McCowan finds an opening to clear the puck the length of the ice. Killing the penalty, Patterson, Bozak, McGinnis, and McGowan for Calgary. Here come the Blues with a man advantage. Natras to center ice. Over the Calgary line, right to it, loses the puck. Here's a breakaway. It's Bozak. Steve Bozak cutting in, shoots. Wamsley the save, open net, and Patterson scores. Colin Patterson on the rebound as the Flames get a shorthanded goal. And Fedorko are really arguing the point with Koharski. They felt that that rebound shot by Patterson hit the goalpost, and that Ramage, who was in the net covering up for Wamsley, was there to clear the puck out. Now Koharski is going back to talk to the goal judge. Well, it was a rebound. Sutter was trying to catch up with Steve Bozak, who had a breakaway, sort of tied him up. The shot was made, Wamsley the save, and then Colin Patterson took a shot, not a strong shot, that seemed to hit the far goal post and end up very near the goal line. I got the impression, Joe Micheletti, that the puck had gone in over the line. And that was clearly the impression that the goal judge got. Now using headsets, Don Koharski talking with the goal judge behind Rick Wamsley. And the goal will come. The Flames lead it 1-0 on the shorthanded goal. Oh, and Jacques Demers is unhappy.
We'll get a chance to see it. From this angle, we can't really tell if the puck had gone over the line or not. We'll get another chance to see it here. The shot from Patterson on the rebound off the post.
It's in,
and it is in. There's no question. It is in.
It clearly was in. I really did, in all honesty, feel it was in looking at it with a naked eye. It's certainly worth arguing, and if I were the Blues, I would argue vehemently also. If nothing else, it gets the goal judge on his toes and gets Don Koharski on his toes. A shorthanded situation, and Natras gave up the puck near the Calgary line.
Exactly. Natras lost control. Sutter came back to help cover up. Wamsley made that initial first save, but Bozak, who was coming in, taken out by Sutter, they both landed actually on Rick Walmsley. They pushed Walmsley right out of the net. Ramage had scrambled back, but Patterson with the rebound off the far post and in. And that gives Calgary a quick 1-0 lead. Still 16:49 left to go in this first period.
Colin Patterson's 4th goal in this series. He, Risebrough, and McDonald leading the Flames with 4 goals apiece. Patterson with his 5th playoff goal. It comes with the Flames shorthanded. Now the face-off at center ice, won by the Blues. Still 1:10 to go in Tim Hunter's penalty. Fedorko gets the feed, carries to the Calgary line, over to Hunter on the right wing. He kicks the puck into the corner. McInnes back, lifts the puck over the glass and into the crowd. Then Fedorko starts to mix it up with young Al McInnes behind the Calgary net, and it looks like it could be a long, long night with many frayed tempers here at the Olympic Saddle Dome.
No question about it. Al McInnes is having an outstanding series against these Blues. We're going to get a chance to take another look at that goal. Ramage, who was in the crease covering up, tried to kick out his left leg, but the puck just bounded off that far left post and bounced just inside the goal line before Ramage was able to scoop the puck out. And I'm sure most of the other Blues players didn't have the type of angle that we had from up here, Ken, but there was no question that that goal was in. A shorthanded goal by Patterson. Bozek gets the assist at 3:11 of the first period.
And we were concerned about special teams. The Blues did not want to have to play shorthanded. But as it turns out, their power play gives up a shorthanded goal. The Flames' 4th shorthanded goal right in front from the faceoff. Hunter, and he's stopped by Mike Vernon. And now Eddie Beers, the former Flame, mixing it up. And Jamie McCowan has him grabbed from behind as the Blues come right back and come very close to scoring.
Well, it was a giveaway initially as Neil Sheehy, the big, strong, tough Calgary defenseman, had control of the puck in his own zone. And on a clearing pass, he hit the side of the net. The puck bounded right out in front. And Beers had a chance at it, and Vernon lost sight of it initially. And the puck rolled underneath him. He was able to recover and just put that glove on the puck and freeze it.
Now the face-off in the Calgary zone, and Risebrough clears the puck the length of the ice. 45 seconds left in Tim Hunter's penalty. By the way, Al McInnes and Bernie Fedorko just each receiving 2-minute high sticking penalties. Coincidental penalties at 3:26. Calgary leads 1-0. Gilmore over the line. Check. Knocked down by McCowan, who's hit by Hunter. In front, Beers. He shoots the puck wide. There'll be a penalty against Sheehy. Going off will be Neil Sheehy, the Calgary defenseman from Harvard University, as he went in with an elbow against Eddie Beers. There's still 24 seconds left in the Hunter penalty. The Flames will be 2 men short. At the Saddle Dome, 1-0 Calgary. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. A roughing penalty at 4:01. Flames 2 men short. They have scored a shorthanded goal at 3:11. Bozek assisting on the goal by Patterson.
The Blues have a good chance here. What they have to do is get control of the puck initially, and Bozek really hit Eddie Beers off to the side of the net for that elbowing penalty, but the Blues have to gain control and get a quick goal here.
They have control over the line. Hunter pulls up. Back to Natras at the point, in the corner to Sutter. Behind the net to Gilmore. Out to the left point, Ramage. To the right point, Natras. Back to Ramage. 2-man advantage. Shot blocked by Reinhart. Natras a drive, deflects off Sutter and into the crowd. And out of the penalty box comes the Flames' Tim Hunter, and the Blues still have the power play. The Flames will be 1 man short.
Interesting that the Blues, or that the Calgary Flames, have scored 18 goals in this series. Natras, first of all, with a shot that was deflected by Bozek, and then again in front of the goal before bounding up over the glass. But the Calgary Flames have scored 18 goals in this series against the Blues. 9 on the power play and 2 shorthanded.
Face-off in the Calgary end, won by the Blues. Norwood at the left point, across to Gilmore, back to Natras, and he blisters it wide. Norwood keeps the puck in behind the net to Gilmore. Beers in front with Tazlowski. The puck comes to the right point. Natras plays it behind the net to Gilmore. Man advantage Blues. They trail 1-0. Beers in front, a shot knocked away, and the Flames clear the puck the length of the ice. There's still 1:05 left in the Blues power play. It's Beers over the line. Drop pass to Gilmore. On with Pazlowski. Then Lube intercepts the pass from Gilmore. Skates up to the St. Louis line with Risebrow. Hakan Lube still with a puck. Carries into the corner. At a bad angle. Circles the net. Centers. Puck at the side of the Blues goal. Controlled by Natras. 42 seconds left in the penalty to Neil Sheehy. Carrying the puck to center ice. Norwood for the Blues. Flips it in. At the side of the net, Mike Vernon plays the puck. Leaves it for Paul Baxter. Around Beers to center ice. Still shorthanded are the Flames. Baxter shoots the puck in, and both teams changing players. Calgary leading 1-0 in the first period on a shorthanded goal. Hunter stopped at center ice, and Patterson, the goal scorer, backhands the puck into the St. Louis end. Walmsley plays it for Sutter. He's stopped. A long backhand shot from Reinhardt wide. Now Bozak takes Hunter out, and Wickenheiser has the puck to Norwood in front of Walmsley. Back on is Sheehy. Here's Wickenheiser at center ice. A pass for Sutter broken up, and Patterson clears it the length of the ice right on. Walmsley kicks the puck out to Ramage. Long shot from the red line wide. The rebound played by Calgary. Paul Reinhardt, the veteran, backhands it to center ice. Tonelli after the puck over the line. His pass turned back to center ice by Wickenheiser. On to Reeds, over the line to Wickenheiser. Drop pass to Bourgeois into the corner, and he sends the puck through the goal mouth. A centering pass by LaValle caroms to center ice, and the Blues have to come onside. Here's Mark Reeds in the center circle, backhanding the puck in. Backboard is Baxter. He's well covered. He leaves it for Mike Eves. Up on the right wing to Lanny McDonald. Rink wide for Tonelli. He's checked by Natras, who can't control the puck. McCowan, Rick wide to Baxter. At center ice, Eves lets the pass go to McDonald. A shot, he scores. Lanny hit the post. Now they say that hit the post. And play goes on. It looked like it went in. Now play is stopped. And I believe Leon Stickle, the linesman, wants to check, possibly with the goal judge. The puck went out of play. Oh, and it looked like Lanny McDonald's shot went in, but apparently that hit the goal post, and now the Flames are questioning referee Don Koharski, who's got to be wondering a little bit about the goal judge. And apparently Joe Micheletti hit the post, and well, my eyes aren't 20/20, but it looked like it was behind Walmsley.
It looked the same to me, Kent. And you know, it's interesting though to watch Lanny McDonald and the line that was on the ice. They really didn't argue the call at all. It was Poplinski coming off the bench that argued the call.
They're getting ready for a face-off near Rick Walmsley. The Flames not arguing. Here's McDonald's shot.
McDonald, the long wrist shot, seemed to deflect off of Natras.
And hit both goalposts.
It looked like it did hit both goalposts on that shot. Very fortunate for Walmsley and the Blues. They hate to find themselves down by 2 goals. We've played less than 8 minutes in this first period.
So it hit both goalposts. Did not go in. Blues win the draw on their own end, clear the puck away. It slides all the way to Mike Vernon. Reinhardt with it. Playing it up on the right wing, too far for Mullen. It's Norwood at center ice. Now Beers shoots the puck in. There's 12:35 to go in the first period. Flames lead 1-0. Flames in trouble in their own end. Wickenheiser intercepts, moves in front. A beautiful pass, and Raglan is robbed. On a great save by Vernon. Norwood at the left point. High shot hits the chest of Vernon, and then he stops the drive by Eddie Beers. And the little goaltender, Mike Vernon, absolutely tremendous there on 3 point-blank Blues scoring opportunities. And Mike Vernon, playing in his 14th playoff game, gets a standing ovation.
Unbelievable. The key here is the move that Wickenheiser puts on the Calgary defenseman just off to the side of the net. Wickenheiser moving right in, faked one way, moved around. Beautiful pass to Raglan, and Raglan let a quick shot go, but Vernon just moved across the crease and made a terrific save. Then on the long shot from the point, and again Eddie Beers gets robbed by Vernon in front of the net. Great opportunities for the Blues, but Vernon is certainly up to that test.
The only goal, Patterson from Bozak at 3:11, shorthanded. Face-off in the Calgary end. Blues get a shot that doesn't reach the net. Then Gilmore intercepts a Risebrow pass behind the net. Calgary, McCowan losing the puck to Gilmore. Into the slot, a shot from Pazlowski wide. Now a loose puck behind the Calgary net. Gilmore taken out of the play. Then Sutter intercepts, banks it into the corner to Gilmore. He's hit by McInnes. Then Sutter steps in the way of one Flame, but the Flames clear to center ice. Bourgeois for the Blues back in his own end. Long pass at center ice beyond Gilmore, and the Flames control. It's Lanny McDonald over the line with Tonelli and Risebrow. He centers, and that's kicked out by Wamsley. McCowan from the point in front to Tonelli, and his shot blocked. Now the bouncing puck to Gilmore at center ice. Gilmore shoots the puck in. Both teams making wholesale player changes. McInnes starts out of his own end for the Flames. Too far for Hunter. Norwood at the Blues defense. Feeds on the right wing to Mark Reeds. In the middle it comes to Kevin LaValle. Around one man. He just shoots the puck around behind the Flames net to the far corner. And it's Dan Quinn there for Calgary. To Neil Sheehy. Sheehy looking up ice. Plays the puck to center ice. And it's knocked down there. And Bozak takes the Blues player out, who ends up falling on the puck, and that's Kevin LaValle. So there's a break in the action. 10:51 to go, first period. Blues trailing 1-0. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
The Blues trailing 1-0. Kevin LaValle, the Blues hard-shooting left winger, in the lineup again tonight, as he was in Game 4. And the key for Kevin LaValle, of course, get in the open and let that big shot go, because he's got one of the hardest shots in the National Hockey League, and he hasn't had that many opportunities to really show us what he can do with that shot here in this series, Ken.
The Blues now, here in this first period, have outshot the Flames 4-3, but Calgary leads 1-0 on a shorthanded goal. Neutral face-off, Flames control. Baxter gets the puck over to rookie defenseman Robin Bartel. He loses it, and the Blues come back. Over the line, Mahar to LaValle. His shot, oh, just wide of the far post. LaValle came within inches of tying it at 1. Puck way back at the other end, and behind the Blues net, it's Ramage. He's on defense with Norwood. Mahar is centering LaValle and Reeds. Norwood gets the puck up to LaValle, out at center ice to Reeds. Ahead, offside for Mahar. He was astride over the Calgary blue line ahead of the puck.
Rick Mahar with that outstanding game in Game 4 in St. Louis. The 2 goals, one a short-handed goal, was simply outstanding. Also had an assist that game, and that's what the Blues need. They need players such as a Rick Mahar, a Mark Reeds, now hopefully Doug Wickenheiser, who's had a couple of good shifts here in the early going, to come up with those big goals that the Blues need. I think if they can get performances out of some of those other checking players, that they can come up with a victory here tonight.
Blues looking to change lines to match up as they shoot the puck in from center ice. Hunter for Calgary can't get it out. It's Beers checked along the boards by Sheehy. Now Wickenheiser behind the net. Centers the drive right on. Vernon makes the save on Herb Ragland. And Ragland is upset. He is trying to get at Paul Reinhart, the Calgary defenseman. Oh, Herb Ragland has been set up beautifully twice now by Doug Wickenheiser.
And he's frustrated here in the early going. Another great play by Wickenheiser, fighting off the check behind the net. Ragland just sneaks in from the right boards, let go a quick shot. Vernon came out, just stood up and cut down the angle. And then Reinhart tried to clear the rookie Herb Ragland out from in front of the net. Now we're going to get a penalty on Tim Hunter of the Calgary Flames, who joined in that fracas after the whistle had blown, and he had thrown a punch at Herb Ragland. He'll go off for roughing. The Blues will have another power play opportunity. Hunter off for roughing at the 10-minute mark of this first period.
Well, the Blues have had opportunities here on the power play in the early going. They are 0 for 2. In this playoff series, they've had 19 power plays and scored only 2 goals. They win the faceoff in the Calgary zone. Ramage at the point. Far boards to Fedorko. He's stopped. Puck deflects to center ice. Ramage, Benning on the points. Federico, Hunter, and Gilmore up front. Killing the penalty, Hakan Lube, Doug Risebrough, Jamie McCowan, and Al McInnes. Puck all the way back inside the St. Louis blue line. Brian Benning has it, being forechecked by Risebrough. Over to Ramage, up to Gilmore at the checkered red line. Gilmore ahead for Hunter. It gets by him. A battle in the corner. McCowan gets the puck along the boards, intercepting the Blues. Back to Ramage. Over to Benning. The shot, and it deflects off Risebrough into the crowd, and the face-off will be inside the Calgary blue line.
Brian Benning with his first NHL goal in Game 3. An outstanding young player. He's got the quick hands, skates very fluidly, and a smart hockey player. He's been very impressive on the power play for the Blues. Even though the Blues have really struggled on their power play, his addition has helped at least getting the puck out of their own zone.
Face-off, won by the Blues. Norwood keeps it in over to Natras at the right point. A shot knocked away. 2-on-2 break. Here come the Flames. Steve Bozak with Colin Patterson. Bozak cuts right in front. He shoots. Walmsley, a tremendous save as Bozak walked right in. Back the other way, it's Federico with Paslowski and Sutter. A pass for Sutter broken up neatly by Sheehy. He headmans to Bozak, who's all alone at the St. Louis line, and a shot wide as Natras and Norwood were back. Blues have the man advantage for another 47 seconds. Carrying the puck to center ice is Paslowski. Blues trail 1-0 here in the first period. Paslowski shoots the puck in. Quinn back for it behind his net, finds an opening, and clears it the length of the ice. Now the Blues will replace Brian Sutter with Ed Beers. He has the puck, hands it right to Mike Eaves inside the St. Louis blue line. He clears the center ice to McCowan. Over to Sheehy. 24 seconds left in the Tim Hunter penalty. And the puck shot in by Calgary. Norwood back for it. Plays it on the boards to Wickenheiser. Back to Beers. He charges up the middle. Beers over the line. Bumps with McCowan, centers, and Vernon, the goaltender, deflects the puck to the corner. Benning comes in, checks Quinn. McCowan gets the puck around to the far side to Sheehy, and he clears to center ice. And Tim Hunter steps back on. And the Blues are 0 for 3 on the power play tonight. And on the power play in this series, they are 2 for 20. Jamie McCowan, the Ohio State product, saunters over the St. Louis line. He's checked. Loose puck in the corner. Wickenheiser off the boards behind the net to Benning. Up to Gilmore. He's hit by Baxter, but still clears to center ice. Then the Calgary defenseman McCowan falls down. Ragland in the corner. Centers. And Wickenheiser has his stick lifted. Peplinski trying to get the puck out, gets it to center ice, and it's brought back in by the Blues offside. Flames lead 1-0. 7:28 to go in the first period. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. There's a look at the Calgary skyline, live we might add, right outside of the Olympic Saddledome, which will be the site of many events of the 1988 Winter Olympics. Back inside from center ice. Puck shot in by Robin Bartel. Bourgeois behind the net. Mullen intercepts in the corner for the Flames. Centers, and Mahar breaks up the play. Rick Mahar feeds ahead to Mark Reeds. He shoots it in. Meanwhile, Mahar and Otto crisscrossing sticks like a couple of fencers, and they will be taken off by referee Don Koharski. Both Otto of the Flames, Mahar of the Blues will pick up 2-minute high sticking penalties with 7:10 remaining in the opening period.
A great deal of intensity by these two teams here in the first period. Both obviously realizing the importance of this Game 5 as Mahar just moved the puck off to Mark Reeds. Big Joel Otto just took Mahar out of the way, and both players got their sticks high. They both go off. Coincidental minors for high sticking.
Action resumes at center ice, and a hand pass by the Blues, and a quick stoppage again. Calgary leads it on a short-handed goal at 3 minutes 11 seconds off the stick of penalty killer Colin Patterson. The Blues have outshot Calgary 5-4, an unusually low number of shots on goal here in this opening period. Mike Vernon at one point stopped a real onslaught by the Blues. 2 tremendous scoring opportunities by Ed Beers. Before Colin Patterson scored early in the period, he had been stopped point blank by Rick Walmsley. And here's Lanny McDonald over the line, one man back, backhand shot, Walmsley the save. Norwood On defense with Natras, who gets the puck up and out to center ice. Also in this period, McDonald beat Walmsley, but hit both posts with the same shot. Loose puck at center ice. Now the Flames control. Here's Sheehy. Over the line, shooting the puck in. McDonald was stripped at center ice. No penalty, and the crowd reacting. Now McDonald shoots the puck in for Calgary. Back for it goes Norwood. Tonelli slashes him, steals the puck, centers into the crease, and Walmsley there to cover up. And things getting a little more physical here in the first period. Ken Wilson, Joe Micheletti, and Dan Kelly at the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Well, as the Blues have performed in the Stanley Cup playoffs, they are now on the road with a power play, 3 for 33. 3 goals and 33 opportunities on the road.
And that can change momentum so quick, and it has.
Here's a shot from the point, knocked down in front. As McCowan let it go, and the Blues clear to center ice. Sutter shooting the puck in. Quickly, Jacques Demers changes lines. McCowan starting out of his own end for the Flames. Up to Mullen off his skate. Bourgeois intercepts the Hunter, and he bangs the puck back into the Calgary end. Here's Paul Baxter clearing up to Joe Mullen. On to Mike Eaves. On a line with Kaplinski. Eaves a shot. Knocked down by Walmsley. Bourgeois ahead for Cavallini. He's stopped momentarily by Baxter, and the puck comes to center ice. Shot back in, and Joe Mullen is caught offside. There's 5:50 to go in the first period. 1-0 Calgary.
Mike Eaves, who came out of retirement to join Calgary in the playoffs, has played now in his 4th consecutive game for these Calgary Flames. And Ken, you know, you mentioned the power play, and I mentioned how it can change momentum. The Blues have played excellent hockey and have actually had their best scoring opportunities in this series on an even strength basis. You look at the early going with Herb Ragland getting a couple great opportunities after being set up by Wickenheiser, and yet their power play has been terrible.
Along the near boards by the benches, a scramble for the puck. Boy, Cavallini and Sheehy really muscling each other, and finally the puck held for a faceoff. Maybe Jacques Demers and Brian Sutter and company ought to decline the penalties.
Well, that's not a bad idea. Not a bad idea at all. And the Blues have outscored Calgary in the series on an even strength basis, 9 goals to 6. But of course, Calgary has had their best scoring opportunities here in the first period when they've been shorthanded. The Blues, on the other hand, their best scoring opportunities, even strength.
Puck back into the St. Louis end, played around the boards, not out. Reinhardt a shot wide from the left point. Here's Quinn in the corner. Dan Quinn leaves the puck. Tim Hunter there, pinned to the boards by Benning. That allows Wickenheiser to get the puck, but it's intercepted. It comes out finally to center ice as Bozak was unable to complete the play. Reinhardt hands it to Eddie Beers. He shoots the puck in, and Wickenheiser is caught in over the Calgary line offside.
And the shots on goal, Calgary is now out shooting the Blues 6-5 with 5:12 left to go. Steve Bozak, who came in this series without scoring a point, has scored now in 4 consecutive games. He has no goals, 4 assists in the last 4 games, and has done an outstanding job killing off those penalties for the Calgary Flames.
Here's the line for the Blues that has had the best opportunities in the first period. Wickenheiser between Ragland and Beers, and then immediately after the faceoff, Beers replaced by LaValle, and a long flame shot from center ice, short-hopped and held onto by Rick Walmsley, and there's 5:03 to go in this first period.
And Rick Walmsley in the playoffs this year, 3 wins, 4 losses, a 4.09 goals against average in 7 games, but he's had to be sharp. He's had some tough shots here in this first period.
Face off near Walmsley. Blues control. Norwood around the boards for Reeds. Checked by Patterson, who centers. Then Hockenlube loses the puck to Reeds. Blues break out. Reeds with Mahar and LaValle. Just shooting it in. Side of the net. Vernon plays the puck in the corner. There's Mahar back to the right point. A net free shot. Shoulder high. Goes wide. Hockenlube unable to clear the puck out on the first strike. Carries it to center and feeds to Patterson. On to Tim Hunter. And a pass back for Patterson. Broken up. Now the puck behind the Blues net. Mahar around the boards, can't clear. McInnes a shot right on from the point. Walmsley a good save. Reeds carries to center ice and shoots it in. Back for the puck, Al McInnes. Both teams changing players. Here's the 22-year-old Flames defenseman. A pass that goes the length of the ice. Back is Pavis. He tries to touch it. Tonelli gets to it first. Then Pavis rides Tonelli to the ice. And there will be a holding penalty called against the Blues defenseman, Jim Pavis. Oh, that's a tough break there. Tonelli, the smart, wily veteran, lifted the Blues player's stick, touched the puck, and I think out of frustration more than anything, Pavis getting the penalty clearly could have let Tonelli go because the play was moving out to center ice being carried by the Blues.
Well, I think Pavis was a little frustrated initially as he had a chance to get back first and just touched that puck for an icing call, but John Tonelli, known for his outstanding corner work, always a hard-working type player, an aggressive player, caught up to Pavis and just lifted Pavis's stick before he could touch the puck, thereby preventing that icing call. And then Pavis just held on to Tonelli as Tonelli took control of the puck. Pavis goes off for holding at 15:55.
Now the face-off in the circle deep in the Blues zone, won by the Flames. Tonelli back to McInnes, a shot wide. Hops in front of the net off the corner boards and Ramage there to clear the puck the length of the ice. There's a minute 48 to go in the Pavis penalty. McInnes starting out of his own end for the Flames. It comes to Bozak. He can't get around Norwood. Then Walmsley into the corner to Gilmore, and he clears it the length of the ice. On the power play for Calgary, McInnes, Reinhart, McDonald, Tonelli, and also Bozak. Here's McDonald at center ice, leaving the puck for Al McInnes. He'll shoot it into the corner. Back forward is Ramage. He drives it off the boards, knocked down by Lanny McDonald. To Tonelli to the left point. That's Reinhart to the right point. McInnes, a shot wide. Now Tonelli along the boards, back to Reinhart. They like to set up McInnes. He has the puck. His wrist shot turned into the corner by Mahar. Bozak to McDonald behind the St. Louis net. Back to the point. Reinhart there with Wickenheiser. The puck comes loose, and Mahar clears it the length of the ice. 3 minutes to go in the first period. Blues trail the Flames 1-0. Blues shorthanded for another 50 seconds. In his own end, Dan Quinn trying to wind up. Out over his blue line to the red line. Over to Joel Otto into the St. Louis zone. He's checked by Beers. Now behind the net, Bourgeois takes the puck, and he clears it the length of the ice. Calgary has outshot the Blues 8-5. The Calgary goal coming early at 3:11 while the Flames were shorthanded. Dan Quinn at center ice over the St. Louis line, drops the puck, and McCowan has to play it back at center ice. 15 seconds left in the Calgary power play. Otto over the line to Quinn, back in front for Mullen, and Gilmore back checking, intercepted. Up at center ice to Mahar, long shot, and that's turned aside with a stick by Mike Vernon. 2 seconds, Pavis will be back. Quinn skating to center ice for Calgary. Blues at full strength, and at the St. Louis line, the Flames are offside. That stops the action with 2 minutes 2 seconds to go in period one, and the Flames up 1-0.
Excellent job of penalty killing by the Blues. As you mentioned earlier, Ken, they try to stay a little closer to Big Al McInnes, the hard-shooting defenseman for Calgary. They try and set up McInnes for that big shot of his. McInnes having an outstanding playoff against these Blues. He's got a goal and 7 assists, 8 points against the Blues in this series. But Rick Mahar did a good job of staying close to him, forcing McInnes to move the puck quickly, not giving him enough time to let that shot go.
Game 6, Monday night at the arena in St. Louis. Still a couple thousand seats available. We expect to see you there in person. What a night that'll be. From center ice, Cavallini shoots the puck in, knocks Baxter down. Vernon out of the crease, plays it around the boards. Loose puck in the corner for Fedorko, in front to Cavallini. Shooting wide, another shot by Cavallini. Vernon the save. And a high stick of a Blues player touching the puck, and there'll be a face-off. Gino Cavallini, that time Joe Micheletti, had 2 scoring opportunities, and they were hindered a bit because Baxter was all over him.
But it was a great second effort by Cavallini on the pass from Fedorko. He was tied up. Cavallini got the initial shot off, but he just fights and gets away from Baxter and got off actually a second shot on goal. Cavallini's been playing much better hockey as of late. Had an outstanding game, Game 4 in St. Louis. And as of late, he's been scoring also.
Norwood from the point as the Blues win the draw, and his shot is wide. Reinhardt playing the puck to Tonelli, not out. Ramage from the point, and a bad save by Mike Vernon. To center ice, Risebrow. Over to Joel Otto. For Tonelli, and Tonelli backhands the puck into the corner. Now loose in the Blues end, and Hunter starts out down the far wing to center ice. He shoots it into the corner. Backboard is Neil Sheehy. Behind the play, Ramage and McDonald mix it up. Now it's McInnes to center ice for Calgary, driving it in. The Beast racing back. He touches the puck, and it is an icing call against the Flames. And now Bourgeois and Risebrow are going to go at it. Lanny McDonald has lost his helmet, and everyone on the ice, with the exception of the goaltenders, milling around near Rick Wamsley. Well, there were some bad feelings just moments ago, well behind the play, Joe.
Ramage and McDonald initially, and those two guys are old buddies. They played together for the Colorado Rockies and very good friends. Now Bourgeois really takes a shot at Neil Sheehy, who had also joined in. But just prior to all this, it was Pavis who got back in a hurry to touch the puck to get the icing call. McDonald took a shot at Bourgeois. Risebrow came in. He tried to get Bourgeois with a left, and Charlie was fighting off two of them.
I think Lanny McDonald got sandwiched a bit. I think Risebrow shoved McDonald into Bourgeois, and then Bourgeois yanked McDonald's helmet off. And there will be penalties with just a minute 3 left in this hard-fought first period.
Charlie Bourgeois looks like right now is going to get an extra 2 minutes on that fracas. They've sent both. Well, they've sent the players to the penalty box. It looks like the only penalty that will be called is against Charlie Bourgeois. He'll get a roughing penalty at 18:57. So the Flames, who are 0 for 1 on the power play thus far tonight, will get another shot here.
The Blues have not fared all that well killing penalties. But, Joe, I thought they did a much better job the other night at the arena, even though Lanny McDonald scored 2 power play goals. I thought the Blues did a good job getting a man out towards the blue line, cutting off Al McInnes. They really slowed up the Flames on the point. The Flames had 2 men deep near Wamsley, 1 at each goalpost, and generally the Blues did a good job killing penalties.
They did, but you have to give the Calgary team a lot of credit, because what they did, they noticed that the Blues were trying to take that shot away from McInnes on the point, and they changed their power play around, and they switched Lanny McDonald, as opposed to being on the sideboards off by the circle to get the shot where they could dish it off to him. They moved Lanny McDonald high into the slot so that when McInnes did get the puck, he didn't have to worry about taking the big slap shot. He just fed in a nice pass to McDonald, who was right in the slot area, and that's where McDonald scored both his power play goals.
Bourgeois apparently has gone to the dressing room. Don Koharski wants Jacques Demers to send somebody over to the penalty box. There's only a minute 3 to go in the period. Consequently, unless the Flames score, the penalty time will carry over into the second period. I don't think Jacques is all that happy with Don Koharski, and finally sends Brian Benning over to serve the penalty. The face-off, meanwhile, will be inside the Calgary Flames blue line.
And the reason for that, Ken, is that the initial whistle came on the icing call on the Calgary Flames before the fracas started. Cavallini now goes in to serve the penalty for Bourgeois.
Face-off won by the Blues. Buckle on the boards. Here's Al McInnes with it. Less than a minute to go in the first period. Flames lead 1-0. At center ice, it's Quinn shooting the puck in. Calgary with a man advantage. Backboard, Norwood leaves the puck along the near boards for Mark Reeds. He starts to center ice. He's got Mahar ahead of him. Now Reeds shoots the puck in off the corner glass. Vernon leaves it for McInnes. 38 seconds to go in the period. Flames power play. Quinn has trouble, has to circle in his own end. Dan Quinn feeds on the left wing to Jamie McCowan. He'll blister the puck around the boards. And Reeds turns it to center ice. McInnes, rink wide for McCowan. 20 seconds to go. To Otto, back to the left point to McInnes. Out to the right point. Quinn, a shot from the right circle wide. Here's McCowan at the left point. Playing the puck into the corner to Joe Mullen. Behind the net to Joel Otto, and Ramage pokes it away now dangerously. The puck in front and knocked into the corner. A whack at it by Ramage. 1 second to go. McCowan playing it to the corner as the horn sounds to bring a close to this first period. The only goal in the period at 3 minutes 11 seconds. The Blues at that time were playing one man short. I should say the Flames were playing one man short. The Blues had the power play, which we might add went 0 for 3 in the first period and was ineffective. And Calgary scored a shorthanded goal. Bozek got the assist. Colin Patterson scoring his 5th playoff goal. Shots on goal, Calgary 8, the St. Louis Blues 7. 20 minutes of play. Here in Game 5 of this best-of-7 series, Calgary 1, St. Louis nothing. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
All right, now let's go to Ken Wilson, who's with Dan Kelly for an update on tonight's game. Dan and Ken?
Thank you, Jim. Boy, an interesting first period, Dan. We talked at the beginning of the telecast about the special teams, and it was apropos because they were a big factor in period 1.
Boy, Joe, Ken, if they could just play this game and not have penalties to give the Blues to take advantage of their power play, I think the Blues would be all right. When the situation was 5-on-5, the Blues were outplaying Calgary. When they get a power play chance, we know the Flames goal came on a shorthanded situation, and they could have had a couple of others. I guess we better go back to my old friend Gus Kyle, who, when he was coaching in the Central Hockey League one time, he said his power play was so bad that he told his players to decline the penalty.
Right. Why not?
And he said, the referee said, you can't do that. He said, well, the coach told me to decline it. That's how inept the Blues power play was, and that's when the Flames really outplayed the Blues when they were shorthanded, and that's staggering to try and understand.
And it's interesting, power plays for many teams tend to be rather streaky, and it's not something you can practice hard for a day or two and get back. It usually tends to go in a trend of 4 or 5 games, so it could be a big problem.
I think Joe Micheletti has the right idea. I was talking to him, and he said what they better do now is just shoot it in and go in and try and chase it, because the Flames are executing perfectly in killing off the penalties, and they really have the Blues disorganized, and it could lead to more problems. I mentioned the one shorthanded goal, and they could have had others. Meanwhile, Ken, I thought the Blues, when the teams were at full strength, were outplaying Calgary. Herb Raglan had a couple of great chances. Eddie Beers had an outstanding chance, and Doug Wickenheiser was playing the best hockey I've seen him play in the playoffs so far in that first period. So maybe Doug Wickenheiser, who hasn't scored in the entire playoffs, is ready to break out. But if we could just keep him at even strength, we'd be okay, it looks like.
Goaltending, always a big question. Rick Wamsley getting the call tonight. What do you think about Game 6 and maybe Game 7 in terms of goaltending? A lot of different ways to look at it.
I would think that unless Wamsley completely falls down tonight, you'll see him back in Game 6, simply because his style, the Oilers really seem to take advantage of Greg Millen's aggressive style, and there may be a reason for that. They played Edmonton, and Bob Johnson was telling me that Grant Fuhr has the same type of come out and challenge the shooter style, and they adapted to that, and they adapted to Millen. So unless something drastic happens here tonight, I'd expect Wamsley for Game 6, and he played splendidly again here in the first period of this game, I thought.
Well, the key still seems to be, what are the Blues going to do with their power play? We'll see with the second period coming up, and the Blues, Jim Duff trailing the Flames 1-0.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. That's going to do it for Sports Break right now. We will be back after the second period with a lot more for you. Thanks for watching. I'm Jim Duff.
Canada, yeah, you're right. Summer is still a ways off here in the provinces. It was in the 30s here today. They had a little snow this morning, and that's not exactly a bikini weather sky you see as the sun sets behind the Rocky Mountains in this beautiful Western Plains city.
Well, it will be bikini weather for one of these two teams here in the next few days. And again, just a reminder, Game 6 coming up Monday at the arena, 7:35, and then Game 7, if necessary, will be back here at the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary on Wednesday. And Ken, Now you look at these two teams and you look at some of the statistics over the past playoffs. The Calgary Flames are 9-2 in the playoffs when they have scored the first goal of the game, which they have done here tonight. And of course, we can't always go on statistics, but that is something to keep in mind. And again, it was a short-handed goal that got Calgary on the scoreboard first.
When the second period gets underway, the Blues will be shorthanded. Charlie Bourgeois has 57 seconds left in his penalty. Rick Wamsley is set at one end. Mike Vernon ready to go at the other. The Blues ready to kill this penalty. We'll have Mahar, Reeds, Norwood, and Ramage on the ice. And from the center ice faceoff, the puck deep into the St. Louis end. Reeds taken out by McDonald. Puck loose behind the goal. Tonelli back to the right point to Hockenloob. To the left point to Reinhardt. Shot knocked down by Ramage. Mahar takes the puck and does not shoot it out. Tonelli steals to Dan Quinn. Quinn to the far boards behind the net to Lanny McDonald. Now to Tonelli. In the corner to Quinn. Right point to Hockenloob. To Quinn in the circle, a shot high, and he misses the mark. Reinhardt along the boards, plays the puck in the corner to Quinn. 20 seconds left in the Bourgeois penalty. Centering to McDonald, the shot wide. Left point, Reinhardt wide. Now at the right point, Hockenloob, and his pass intercepted by Mahar and cleared the length of the ice. Charlie Bourgeois returns in 8 seconds. Second period just underway. Flames lead 1-0. Loob through center ice. Around Ramage, moving in. A pass for Quinn off his stick. Cleared to center ice, offside, as Bourgeois takes the puck just coming out of the penalty box. And the faceoff will come back inside the St. Louis blue line.
Beautiful move by Loob on Ramage right at the blue line. He just evaded Ramage, and then a nice backhand pass across that one of the Flames players, I didn't see which one it was, just couldn't get his stick on the puck. And Mahar was able to clear it. Bourgeois, just coming out of the penalty box, just touched the puck for a two-line pass. The Flames, by the way, were unable to mount any shots on goal in that power play.
Face off in the St. Louis zone. Federico falls down, and the puck lifted to center ice by Pavis. McInnes ahead to Peplinski over the line, taken out by Bourgeois, who's knocked down. Hunter can't clear. McCowan from the point wide. Now Cavallini in his own end. He's checked by Otto. Blues have got to get a little crisper, clearing the puck out of their own end. Pavis in the corner pokes the puck ahead to Cavallini with Federico and Hunter at center ice over the line to Hunter. He's stopped. Peplinski can't clear. Bourgeois keeps the puck in. Vernon out of the crease behind the net, plays it along the near boards to Peplinski. He's hit by Ragland, who intercepts, then loses the puck, and McInnes clears it out. Ramage runs into Peplinski, and the puck carries into the Blues' end. Jim Pavis, the New York City native, back behind his own goal, headmans to Cavallini. Slowly to center ice, shovel pass to Federico over the line. He's knocked to the boards by McInnes, and Jamie McCowan takes over for Calgary. The big defenseman rushes to center ice. The pass behind Eves, and the Blues clear to center ice. And the puck shot back in by the Flames, offside. 17:52 left in the second period. The Blues trail 1-0. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Joe Micheletti in Calgary. Second period, 1-0 Flames.
But we are at even strength, and we have a shot here. Ramage taking down Big Jim Peplinski right at center ice.
Now the neutral face-off. Puck shot in by the Flames. Back for it, Ramage. Ramage on defense with Benny, who takes the pass in the corner, clears to center ice. Bartel plays it to Baxter. He's checked by Wickenheiser. Patterson steps in, and Hockenloob just clears the puck back inside the St. Louis blue line. Ramage backpedaling over to Benning. Wickenheiser out, centering Beers and Ragland. The Blues' most effective line tonight. Benning has to take Patterson out, who intercepts. Backhand shot doesn't reach Wamsley. Bartel keeps the puck in at the blue line, hands it to Benning. The rookie defenseman headmans to Beers, the Denver University product. Flips the puck into the corner. Patterson beats him to it. Along the boards, Paslowski checked as he comes off the bench. Bartel takes the puck, feeds it into a crowd of skates. It's held against the boards in the corner in the Calgary end. And the whistle stops play as Bartel runs into Beers with a little extracurricular activity. The youngster, Robin Bartel, who was a member of the 1984 Canadian Olympic team.
And he takes the place of Terry Johnson, the ex-Blue, who is sitting out tonight's game. We mentioned earlier Tim Hunter also playing tonight, and that has given Calgary a little added muscle going into this game tonight. And Hunter has taken at least a couple of penalties thus far, but the Blues have been unable to capitalize in that first period. They had 3 power play chances, failed to score on any of those chances.
3:02 gone. Second period, neither team has had a shot on goal. Face off in the Calgary zone to the right point. Natras, shot hits a leg in front. Sheehy takes the puck. Sidesteps Paslowski. Headmans to McDonald. The Flames captain to Tonelli. Back to McDonald. He's run down by Natras. Loose puck in the corner. Tonelli to the point. Risebrow. And a great stick save by Walmsley on Doug Risebrow. Here's Paslowski for the Blues. Up to center ice to Gilmore. He'll shoot it in. And Vernon forced to play the puck off the boards. Clears into the corner. Tonelli bumped by Paslowski. Still a loose puck. Gilmore trying to muscle his way in, and Reinhardt takes over. Puck comes right in front. Here's Paslowski. He leaves the puck now for Sutter behind the net. He centers, hits Risebrow, and Risebrow attempts to clear and can't. Natras at the right point, and the shot hits the right pad of Mike Vernon. Vernon that time was screened. McDonald deep in his own zone. Gets the puck along the boards to Reinhardt. He can't clear. Brian Sutter moves in front. The puck gets a skate. They score! Sutter clearing in front. It may have gone in on Doug Gilmore. And the Blues tie it at 1.
Well, that's just great work by the Blues, forechecking Gilmore and Sutter, who was finally starting to get his legs a little bit. Sutter controlling, tried to make the play. He made a great play, number 1. And as the puck came across, it looked like it bounced off one of the Calgary defensemen. I believe Brian Sutter is going to get credited for his first playoff goal.
Well, Lanny McDonald had it go off his skate. I'm not sure if Gilmore at the last moment didn't tip the puck in, but it definitely went off McDonald. And that really directed the puck towards the goal as Sutter centered and Lanny McDonald back-checking, not watching the puck but watching Gilmore put the puck right near the goal line, and Gilmore apparently touched it to tie it at 1. Now from center ice, McInnes of the Flames shoots the puck in. Walmsley clears along the near boards. Here come the St. Louis Blues. Bourgeois to center ice, flipping the puck into the corner. McInnes back, clears to center ice. Pavis leaves it there. Now a chance for Otto, and behind the play, Cavallini and McInnes mixing it up, and there'll be at least 1 penalty and maybe 2. Flames 1, Blues 1. Still early in period number 2. The only penalty will be against Calgary. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
McInnes will go off for high sticking. Brian Sutter on that goal picked up the loose puck, made a nice move right at the side of the net, and then as he tried to beat Gilmore in front, the puck deflected off Lanny McDonald right back to Gilmore, and Gilmore put it in the open net. That's Gilmore's 9th goal of the playoffs. Sutter and Norwood assisting at 4:08 to tie this game at 1 goal apiece.
Gilmore now with 19 playoff points. He, Wayne Gretzky, and teammate Bernie Fedorko with most points in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Blues control the faceoff to center ice, and stopped is Benning. Back the other way, Bozak. He tries to get around Natras, forced into the corner where Benning takes out Bozak. Then Steve Bozak gets the puck, tries to come in front. He's thrown down by Benning, and may have even taken a bit of a dive. And the youngster, Brian Benning, will go to the penalty box, and the Flames will have the man advantage.
Steve Bozak very aggressive on that penalty killing, and when they get a chance, those Calgary forwards, to mount some offense while they're killing penalties, Ken. They're not afraid to do that at all. And you called it right. Bozic helped the cause a little bit. He took a little bit of a dive as Benning was hooking him down. Benning will go off for hooking at 4:51. Now both teams will play 4 men aside.
McInnes in the penalty box, 22 seconds ahead of Benning. 1-1 is the score. Patterson scored shorthanded for the Flames in the first period at 3:11. Gilmore has scored here at 4:08 of the second period to tie it. The game is tied at 1. The series is tied at 2 games apiece.
Benning from the side of the net as Bozic was handling the puck. Just hooked him a little bit, and Bozic helped out going down. Brian Benning not very happy with that call.
Now we could see some wide open play. Quinn up front along with Eves for Calgary. They win the draw at the point. Reinhardt the shot wide. Baxter at the right point keeps the puck into Eves. He centers. Gilmore intercepts. Gilmore with Federico, Favis, and Bourgeois. Gilmore, a pass to Bourgeois over the line. A shot. Ooh, and he just missed the far post. What a shot by Bourgeois. Now Gilmore again at center ice. Stick handles in around one man and can't get around Reinhardt. Reinhardt takes over in his own end, hands the puck to Federico, to Bourgeois at the right point, and the puck bounces over his stick to center ice. He gives it to Favis, and the pass comes to Doug Gilmore. Back to the blue zone to Bourgeois. A minute until the Flames have the power play. Both teams shorthanded. Favis feeds Gilmore. He circles in the center ice area. A pass too far for Federico. Reinhardt back behind his own net. Blues make a quick change. Reinhardt dashes to center ice. Paul Reinhardt over the St. Louis line. Gives the puck to Hockenloob as he comes off the bench. He pulls up along the boards. He's at the blue line, leaves the puck into the near corner to Quinn. He's taken to the boards by Norwood. Hockenloob trying to poke the puck loose, but it's held by the skates of Quinn and Norwood against the boards for a face-off. Gino Cavallini has already been to the clinic here and back, got a couple of stitches, and he is, I believe, ready to resume action. We saw him come and go, and I'm not sure if he's back to play or is still getting the stitches.
On that goal by Doug Gilmore, Sutter, who was handling the puck off to the side, made a nice move on Neil Sheehy. Sheehy slid down to try and block that shot, and Sutter, who tried to get the pass off to Gilmore, the puck bounded off a skate. Gilmore was right there for the open net.
Blues win the faceoff in their own end. Ramage circles the net, loses the puck. Mullen right in front, and he cannot beat Walmsley. Joe Mullen never really got good control. A pass from Reeds to Mahar at center ice, hits his skate, picked up by Norwood. Over the line, Lee Norwood checked to the boards, knocked down by Sheehy. He centers, and McCowan intercepts with a quick outlet. It's Mullen on the right wing, over the St. Louis line. Back to McCowan, great chance, he shoots! He's robbed by Walmsley. Ben Reeds behind the net, into the far corner, Mahar. Now, McInnes back on. The Flames have the man advantage. Long pass for Mahar from Ramage, too far. Right on goal, Vernon the save. Clears to Lube at center ice. Blues caught changing. A left wing pass too far for Tonelli. Benning ready to come back on. Puck in the St. Louis zone. Here's Bartel. His shot from the point. Knocked down and smothered by Walmsley as Brian Benning has returned to the ice. And both teams again are at full strength. Oh, what a tremendous save moments ago by Rick Walmsley.
Excellent play. First of all, Mullen had a great chance as Ramage tried to carry the puck out from his own zone. Mullen just stole it. He walked right in from the side of the goal. Walmsley stayed right with him. Ramage also got back and helped out, deflecting that puck somewhat. And then Mullen on a pass from McCowan, who walked right in. Walmsley coming out of the net, cut down the angle. He stayed right with him and made a terrific save on McCowan.
Blues control in their own end. Pavis headmans to Sutter, who shoots it in. Blues are going to change players. Vernon leaves the puck and back for it. Robin Bartel. He's checked, but headmans, and the puck shot in. Hunter getting it in. Natras plays it. Far corner to Pavis. Hunter intercepts. Good forechecking by the Flames. Centers, and Natras beats Patterson to the puck. Beers can't clear. Reinhardt keeps it in. Patterson spun around. Centers for Hockenloob. Loob has Hunter in front, and the pass fails to reach him. Loose puck smothered by Walmsley. And the whistle stops play as all of a sudden the Flames do some good forechecking, and it begins to pay off.
That whole play started from the point when Reinhardt kept it in. Lube took control. Pavis went down to try and block the shot. Natras made a great play coming back to cover up on Mike Eaves, and the puck actually deflected off of the skate of Natras. But Lube, who walked in 2-on-1, Natras coming back, made the play in front on Mike Eaves. He tied up the stick of Mike Eaves, and then the puck bounded in front, and Walmsley covered up.
Blues get the puck clear to center ice. Flames intercept Tonelli. He's tied up by Bourgeois. Here's Pazlowski back in his own end to Norwood. Back for Pazlowski, intercepted by McDonald, driving it in. Behind the net, Walmsley stops the puck for Bourgeois. Up to Sutter. He leaves it for Norwood. Blues have been outshot in the second period, 4-2. They have scored, however, Gilmore at 4:08 to tie it. Now Sutter over the line. He is knocked off stride by McDonald. Tonelli at center ice to Al McInnes. He winds up the shot wide. The puck back to the left point. McCowan along the boards to Tonelli. Looking in front. A pass deflects off Sutter's stick to center ice. Both teams changing players. Al McInnes again. Skates to the St. Louis line, flips the puck in, circles behind the net. Risebrough in the corner, misplays it. Gilmore behind the net, chops it off to Benning in the corner. He looks up, tries to feed to Fedorko. Puck deflected by Sheehy to Hunter. Here's Hunter with Fedorko. McCowan back in front, Fedorko, and he can't get a shot. As he was moving too quickly to get a shot, and the Flames clear to center ice. Off the boards, big Jim Peplinski gets around Ramage, loses the puck, gets it back, runs into his teammate Hunter. Then Hunter and Benning in the corner. Meanwhile, there'll be a penalty as Ramage in front grabbed on to Doug Risebrough. And Ramage will go to the penalty box. The Flames will have the man advantage. 9 minutes have gone by in the second period. The game is tied at 1. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
0-for-3 on the power play tonight. Get another chance as Rob Ramage goes off for holding Doug Risebrough. They got tangled up on the side of the net, and Ramage and Risebrough went down. Ramage goes off for holding at 9 minutes.
Face off in the Blues zone. A scramble. The puck along the boards. Mullen back to the point. Reinhardt. The shot deflects right on. Walmsley the save. Loose puck in front. Mullen to Quinn. Along the boards. He kicks it to Otto. Into the near corner to Mullen. Reinhardt at the left point. McInnes at the right point. The pass back to Mullen. He's checked, knocked down. Reinhardt keeps the puck. Feeds side of the net to Otto. In front to Quinn, and he scores! Reinhardt to Otto to Dan Quinn. 2-1 Calgary.
That play started with the Blues having trouble clearing it. Natras and Mahar had a chance, but Mullen made a great pass. Reinhardt a quick pass over, and that was it. Walmsley didn't have a chance as Quinn, right on the doorstep, took that quick centering pass, and Walmsley didn't have a chance. That power play goal gives the Flames a 2-1 lead.
Dan Quinn, the 20-year-old, in his 11th playoff game, picks up his 4th playoff goal. 2-1 Calgary. Well, the Blues in 17 playoff games have given up 23 shorthanded goals. They have scored only 10 times on the power play, and that is a big, big swing. Face off at center ice. Blues control. Bourgeois. He slaps the puck in. Vernon falls down behind the net as he couldn't stop it, but the puck caroms to center ice, and the Blues shoot it right back in. Now Vernon behind the goal, clears along the near boards. Fedorko bumps with Peplinski. Bourgeois check. Puck still inside the Calgary line, kept in by Hunter. Then Baxter beats Fedorko to it, clears to center ice to Tim Hunter. Hunter can't get around Pavis. Bourgeois gets the puck, plays it to Wickenheiser. Wickenheiser, Fedorko, and Hunter on this line. Jacques Demir's mixing up his forward line. Blues shoot the puck in. McCowan back for it. Feeds up on the wing to Hunter. Now to Peplinski. The pass is behind Otto. Delayed offside call. The puck touched by McCowan, and the offside called against Calgary, and there'll be a neutral faceoff with 9:48 remaining in the second period. Both teams have scored once. Gilmore to tie it at 4:08, and then at 9:28 the Quinn power play goal from Reinhardt and Bozek.
And again, it's the special teams that are dictating this game tonight. We have a change in the scoring. Bozek initially getting that assist.
Should have been Otto.
Now being credited to Joel Otto.
That would be good because Reinhardt had it at the left point, fed to the left of the net to Otto, and he shoveled it in front to Quinn, and that's probably the way they ought to score.
And Otto, for a big man, he's got very good hands. He's on that power play, but he's setting up a lot of things from the side of that crease area.
2-1 Calgary. They control the center ice faceoff. Lube on the right wing, over the line with Eaves. The shot, good save, Wamsley. Blues have trouble clearing again. Lube centers, and Patterson can't get a shot. Still a loose puck. Here's Eaves centering back to the point. Sheehy a drive off Wickenheiser into the corner. Blues having a lot of trouble in their own end, and fortunately for St. Louis, the puck ends up on the mesh on the back side of the goal to stop play, and Joe Micheletti, the Blues, starting to run around a little bit in their own end.
Well, what's happening is, well, first of all, we'll take a look at Håkan Lube coming in from the right wing. He let go a long shot that Wamsley was able to get his right pad on and deflect out. But what's happening in the Blues zone, Ken, is that Calgary is playing very aggressive, and normally their forecheckers do anyway. But what's happening is the Calgary defensemen are pinching in and causing a lot of trouble for the Blues.
Blues win the face-off. Pavis pulls away up to Reeds with Mahar. And LaValle to Mahar, the backhand shot wide. Pavis pinches up. That allows LaValle to get the puck to Mahar. The shot stopped by Vernon, and it went over the net. What a chance there. Puck cleared to center ice. Blues control. Pavis to LaValle. Over the line. He's hit, knocked down by McInnes on a big check. Now Mullen to Steve Bozek over the line. Smothered to the boards by Bourgeois. Jim Pavis gets the puck. Feeds it ahead to LaValle. He loses it right in front of the net. Shot by Mullen, knocked away by Wamsley. Again, a careless move by the Blues in their own end. Mahar can't clear. McInnes from the point. Blues caught. Quinn scores. Dan Quinn.
Dan Quinn with his second goal of the game. This one in even strength. The Blues having trouble getting out of their own zone. Joe Mullen fighting in the corner with Bourgeois. The Blues try to clear it out. LaValle wasn't over there. Quinn with the initial big shot. The puck just bounced off to the side where Danny Quinn was all alone, and he just beat Wamsley. Wamsley, who was out of position after stopping that first shot by McInnes. Quinn just had the wide open net. He scores to give the Flames a 3-1 lead with 8:37 left to go in this second period.
Quinn, 2 goals within 2 minutes. Flames shoot the puck in from center ice. Tonelli along the far boards with Paslowski. Tonelli gets the puck out to Reinhardt at the point. He moves right in. He fakes. He shoots from a bad angle. Wamsley the save. Wamsley scrambles back to the crease as Paslowski skates down the right wing. Over the Calgary line, ridden to the boards heavily. Back for the puck, Doug Risebrough. An outlet pass to Lanny McDonald. Over the line, McDonald. He's ridden to the corner, then centers, loose puck in front, and the puck goes to the corner. Tonelli can't center. Now at the point, Reinhardt, a shot goes wide. Sutter back for the puck, unable to clear. Sheehy, the shot deflects right on. Wamsley the save. McDonald centers. Puck comes high. Blues can't clear. Tonelli plays it to McDonald. He centers. That hits Norwood. Now McDonald again. Trying to center. The Blues just have to clear it. They can't. The shot from the point by Bartel knocked down. Now the Blues get the puck out. Here's Doug Gilmore. Drop pass. Brian Sutter. Good chance. Back to Gilmore. He goes behind the net. Comes in front and he shoots. Hits the post. He hit the post. I don't believe it. Now a shot by Natras deflects into the crowd. And what incredible end-to-end action in Game 5 of for this best-of-7 Stanley Cup semifinal series. It's Calgary 3, St. Louis 1. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Beat on that last play as Sutter with a nice pass. Gilmore fakes and goes around the net. Vernon completely out of the net. Gilmore tries to stuff it in. He had the wide open net. It just bounded right off that far post and out before Calgary could get the whistle.
Gilmore tied it early in the period. Dan Quinn has scored twice here in the second period. Flames lead 3-1. Loose puck, center ice. Hockenloob one-on-one with Mattress. The shot. Walmsley the save. The rebound shot. Another shot as Walmsley stopped Loob twice, and Patterson couldn't get a third effort. Here's Ragland back. He can't get around Baxter. Beers looking to center. Goes behind the net. Tries to stuff from the near side, and Vernon makes the save. And Joe Micheletti, this line of Beers, Wickenheiser, and Ragland has been sensational tonight. They had the majority of the good chances in the first period.
Well, they've had some great chances. Loob initially on one end. We're just seeing back and forth action here. The Blues finally get control, come back the other way. Beers had Wickenheiser high in the slot. He attempted to try and stuff it by going around the net. Vernon made it over there very quickly and just put his skate against that post, hugged that post, and he was able to cover up. But Beers had Wickenheiser wide open high in the slot. I don't think he saw him. Wickenheiser would have had a great chance to score.
After Gilmore tied it at 4:08 from Sutter and Norwood, Quinn scored a power play goal from Reinhardt and Otto at 9:28. Then made it 3-1 with his fifth playoff goal from McInnes at 11:23. Blues have been outshot 18-11. And it's Quinn against Wickenheiser for this face-off deep in Calgary territory. Dan Quinn now has been waved out of the face-off circle. He'll be replaced by Steve Bozak. Wickenheiser waved out. Beers now against Bozak, who wins the draw. Reinhardt from behind his own net for Calgary. Out on the right wing to Joe Mullen, wearing that face shield. He shoots the puck in. Bozak first into the corner, overskates it. Brian Benning into the corner to Beers. He's got some room. Beers slowly in his own zone up to Benning. Benning, a pass for Wickenheiser, fails to reach him. Then Beers steals, gets it in over the line, and Sheehy shoots it back out. Back in his own end, Brian Benning. Can't get the puck around Quinn. They collide. It comes to the side of the net. Walmsley falls on the puck to stop play with 6:21 left in the second period here at the Olympic Saddle Dome in Calgary, with the Flames leading the Blues 3-1.
And goaltender Rick Walmsley has faced 10 shots in this second period. The Blues have fired 4 shots at goaltender Mike Vernon, but the key in this period has been the pressure that the Calgary Flames have been able to put on the Blues. And one of the reasons, the Calgary forwards forechecking extremely well, but on the same hand, the Blues forwards have not held up those Calgary forwards or interfered with them to give the Blues defensemen enough time to go back, get control of the puck, and make a good play.
Peplinski wins the draw from Fedorko. McInnes from the point, shoots high, misses the mark. Walmsley never saw the shot. Peplinski can't center. Bourgeois intercepts. To Cavallini. Getting the puck out, intercepting McInnes. Flames have had a very good second period, and the Blues have been awfully careless in their own end. There'll be a penalty coming up. Tim Hunter will be penalized as the Blues skate in over the Calgary line, and McInnes touches the puck for the Flames, and the St. Louis Blues will have the man advantage. It's Calgary 3, the Blues 1. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
The Blues will be on the power play as Tim Hunter gets his 4th minor penalty of this game. He goes off for elbowing Charlie Bourgeois at 14:05. That gives the Blues another chance on the power play. They're 0 for 3 at this point.
This is their 75th power play chance in the playoffs, and they've scored only 10 power play goals in 17 games. Puck shot in over the line. Gilmore plays it to Benning. He skates into the corner. Benning has the puck swept away by McInnes. He can't clear. Gilmore keeps it in to Natras at the right point. Plays the puck behind the net for Hunter. It's whacked into the far corner. Risebrow loses it. A chase for it. And it's McInnes taking it away from Fedorko and clearing the puck the length of the ice. Now Bozak and Patterson will come out to kill the penalty for Calgary, along with McInnes and McCowan. At center ice, Bozak nearly steals the puck from Natras, and finally he does. Then he runs into Gilmore. Gilmore leaves the puck for Hunter. This crowd is really helping the Flames. Benning shoots the puck in wide of the goal in the corner for Durko. Behind the net, he centers, and Patterson intercepts and clears it away again. The Blues with the man advantage for another 55 seconds and really unable to do much of anything on the power play. Ramage starting slowly out of his own zone to center ice at the red line. He'll shoot it in wide. Eves chops it right back out. And it's Norwood retreating inside the St. Louis blue line to retrieve the puck. Blues changing on the go. Ramage. Now Wickenheiser from Paslowski shooting it in again. Paslowski into the corner, beaten to it by McCowan. Then the referee hit from behind. The puck loose to the right point to Ramage, but a hand pass. There was a hand pass by one Blues player to another, and a whistle, and there'll be a face-off, and it will come outside the Calgary blue line with 23 seconds left in the St. Louis power play.
Lee Norwood, 2 goals, 7 assists, 9 points in 16 playoff games. He leads all Blues players in the plus-minus category of +12. Getting back to this power play, the Blues have not even come close to getting a shot on goal yet. There's too much one-on-one, Ken. They're trying to beat the Calgary forecheckers one-on-one instead of passing the puck.
Flames win the draw. Sheehy shoots the puck the length of the ice. 3-1. Calgary leading in the second period. At center ice, Ramage. He hits Risebrough with a pass, and he clears it right back into the St. Louis end. And Tim Hunter steps back on the ice, and the Blues are 0 for 4 on the power play. And they lose the puck at center ice. Sheehy gets it ahead. Eves. And the shot right on as Wamsley makes the save on Hunter. Then Eves in the corner battling with Brian Sutter. The puck comes loose to Norwood. He plays it to Wickenheiser. Sheehy ties him up as the defenseman pinches in. And the Flames able to get a face-off deep in the St. Louis zone.
Now Brian Sutter and Neil Sheehy exchange a few words, but again, that's the one thing that's been very effective for the Calgary Flames. We've seen Sheehy pinch in along the boards quite a bit. Reinhart playing left defense is always pinching in, and that's really causing the Blues to have a difficult time coming out of their own zone. One way to combat that is just try flipping the puck high out of your zone. Shoot it out of your zone. Send your far winger out to center ice. That'll at least force the Calgary defense to either take the chance of pinching in and leaving the man open at center ice, or they're going to have to pull out of their zone. But the Blues are going to have to try something to help clear the puck out of their own zone.
They win the face-off in their own end. Behind Wamsley, it's Pavis. Over to Bourgeois. Up on the wing to Paslowski. He's on with Sutter and Gilmore. He gives Gilmore the puck. Gilmore to Paslowski, and a poke check by McCowan at the last minute. Loose puck. Baxter knocks it away from the front of the net. Sutter in the corner, taken out by Baxter. Now it's Doug Gilmore turning away. Knocked down in the cross check by McCowan. Loose puck comes in front. It comes high. Eves bats it away. Plays it up to McDonald. Nice job by Pavis pinching in. Gilmore check. He has words with Mike Eves. There'll be a penalty to Eves. A shot from the point by Pavis. The save by Vernon. A penalty coming up to Calgary. Gilmore centers. And finally, Sutter hits the puck with a stick above his shoulders, and Don Koharski stops play, and he's going to send the Flames Mike Eves to the penalty box, and the Blues will have another man advantage. Meanwhile, a Blues player, Jim Pavis, is down and hurt. Now Bourgeois having words with McDonald as Norm Mackey has come out to look after Jim Pavis.
Now Mike Eves will get the initial penalty. He took a swing at Doug Gilmore right behind or out to the side of the net. He'll go off for roughing. Jim Pavis, I never saw what happened to Pavis as he was pinching in from the left point, made one good play keeping the puck in initially, and then as Rick Wamsley had come out of his net for that 6th attacker on the delayed penalty, Pavis went right to the front of the net to try to help out. Mike Eves goes off for roughing at 17-12. Pavis actually went to the Blues bench on his own power, but initially behind the net, Gilmore and Ease going at it. Ease will sit this one out. The Blues have only had one shot on goal, Ken, in the last 7 or 8 minutes.
And the Blues 0 for 4 on the power play. Shoot the puck in from center ice. McGinnis back off the glass. Gets it out to Hockenloo. He feeds to Risebrow over the line. Risebrow pulls up, centers, and Walmsley turns it away. Risebrow banks the puck behind the net, and Natras will play it there. Natras, Benny, Mahar, Fedorko, and Reeds with a man advantage. Then Mahar's pass broken up at center ice by Sheehy, and he shoots it right back into the St. Louis end. There's 2:12 to go in the second period. Blues trail 3-1. They have the man advantage. Natras headmans too far for Reeds. McInnes intercepts and shoots the puck back into the St. Louis end. Boy, there's a lot to be said for declining the penalty. Oh, the Blues can't do a thing. Mahar, Fedorko, over the line, Fedorko. Patterson skates back, rides Fedorko out of the play. They battle in the corner and hold the puck for a face-off deep in the Calgary end. 58 seconds left in the Tim Hunter penalty. And 1:46 to go here in period 2.
Well, at least we're going to get a face-off deep in the Flame zone where the Blues will have a chance to win the face-off and get control of the puck and at least get some shots on goal. The previous power play the Blues had, they failed to get any shots on goal. They're 0 for 4 on the night. Jacques Demers has inserted Rick Mahar to try the power play, and here's one player that hasn't seen much power play action over the course of the season or the playoffs, and now Demers puts Sutter back out there on the power play for the Blues.
Face off in the Calgary zone. It'll be Gilmore facing off. He's got Sutter and Pazlowski out there with him. Norwood and Ramage. Risebrow wins the draw, and the puck cleared out by the Flames. Norwood goes back for it. 51 seconds left in the St. Louis power play. Up to Sutter. Over to Pazlowski. The pass is intercepted. Knocked to center ice. Shot in. Delayed offside. Flames clear the zone. And here's Hockenloo. Stealing from Ramage. Going in. He shoots. Off Norwood and over the net. 35 seconds remaining in the power play for the Blues. Well, let's get this power play over with, and the Blues can get back to business. Blues shoot the puck in. Vernon clears to the corner. Gilmore intercepts, and it's stolen away by McInnes and cleared the length of the ice. There's 1:05 remaining in the second period. 17 seconds left in the Flames penalty. They lead 3-1. One of the Calgary goals while they were shorthanded in the first period. Blues stopped at center ice. McCowan a long shot right on. Walmsley comes out. Then Sheehy a shot from the point. Walmsley the save. Now Hunter back on. Flames at full strength. Pazlowski over the line. A shot off McCowan wide. Mahar steers the puck behind the net. Colin Patterson there, leaving it for Jamie McCowan. 35 seconds left in the second period. Patterson checked in his own end by Reed. Back to Natras, a shot knocked down. Reed kicks the puck towards the front of the net. It goes to the point, and a shot by Pavis wide. Right point, Natras a drive, hits Patterson in the leg, and the puck cleared out by Tim Hunter. It'll slide the length of the ice. Back Pavis to touch it. It's an icing call against the Calgary Flames, and only 14 seconds remaining in the second period, and there'll be a big face-off for the Blues coming up near Mike Vernon.
Well, any good face-off here. We saw Hunter score a goal the night before, but the Flames short-handed. Sheehy gets a chance short-handed. The Flames are just putting on all kinds of pressure, more pressure actually short-handed than we've seen them put on in an even strength situation, and the Flames are short-handed. Maybe that's Bob Johnson's way of getting things going.
Face off, won by the Blues. Left point, Pavis right on Vernon, the save. Blues puck. Beers sends it to the goal. Vernon catches it. A quick whistle from Don Koharski, and with 4 seconds left in the second period, there'll be a face-off. The Blues trailing 3-1. Patterson scored a shorthanded goal for the Flames in the first period, and it was 1-0 Calgary after 20 minutes. Gilmore tied it early in the second period, but Dan Quinn scored on a power play, and less than 2 minutes later at 11:23 scored again to make it 3-1 Calgary. Now the face-off will be near Mike Vernon. Joel Otto to take the face-off for Calgary. And the Blues are going to have Bernie Federko in the circle. He wants to set up the troops for this big faceoff.
Federko will try to get the draw right straight back behind him to Lee Norwood for the shot.
They're set. Norwood gets the draw, but it slides past Norwood to center ice. The clock runs out of seconds, and that's the end of the second period. Gilmore has scored for the Blues. Quinn with 2 goals for Calgary. Patterson has 1. Shots in that period, Calgary out shooting the Blues 13-6, and it was a very good period for Calgary. They skated, played very hard, and did win the period. And after 2 periods, the Blues have been outshot 21-13. The score here in Calgary, the Flames 3, the Blues 1. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Okay, now let's go to Ken Wilson and Dan Kelly for an update on tonight's game. Dan and Ken?
There are definitely some problems going into the third period here in Calgary. The power play ineffective. Also, the Blues really starting to scramble around in their own end, and much of this reflective of the fact that I think the Calgary Flames have a step most of the time, especially in the second period, Dan, and generally they've played very well.
I think Joe Micheletti, as I was talking to him, summed it up well. The Blues aren't interfering with those Calgary forecheckers a lot at all. They're not even brush blocking them, and they're putting an awful lot of pressure. For instance, the Calgary defense, when the puck comes in the St. Louis end, are coming right in and pinching in. And they're putting all kinds of pressure on the Blues. When they're on the power play just now doesn't look inept. It doesn't look like they've lost confidence. It looks like they're completely shook, Ken, and it's really hard to understand or explain. So much so that at one point in that second period, Jacques Demers had Mark Reeds and Rick Mahar, 2 defensive specialists out there, and I can't recall ever seeing those 2 people on a Blues power play all season long.
Not a very good situation. The Blues in this series have had 2 power play goals. They've had 23 opportunities. And again, we made the point in the first intermission, there really isn't a solution. You can't change something like that quickly. I think the key now, the Blues just have to come out. They have to be aggressive. They have to try to set a tone that they tried to set in the first period, and hope that it will carry over, help them tonight. If they can't get a win, it'll at least set the stage for Monday.
They have to be more aggressive. I don't think there's any question about it, and I think they probably will. You know, the Blues did have some chances in that period. You think of the great play Gilmore made when he came around the net and hit a goalpost, but for the most part it was Calgary's period. They really got the Blues hemmed in their own zone, and when they did, they pressured them and caused them to look bad and to make some mistakes. And again, I don't know what they're going to do with the power play, but that's the key. The Blues are getting a lot of chances. What are they, 0 for 6 in this game tonight? And they'll probably get some more in the third. What Jacques Demers is going to do in this third period, I don't know, or what he's doing right now to make adjustments, but they have to make some, no question.
Well, maybe some changes. We'll see what happens with the Blues. They're ready to take on period 3 here in Calgary, trailing 3-1. Jim, that's the story.
All right, guys, thank you very much. That's going to do it for Sports Break this evening. Now let's return to a lot more Blues hockey action from Calgary. Maybe they can pull this one out. Thanks a lot for watching. I'm Jim Duff.
Back to the Olympic Saddle Dome in Calgary with Joe Micheletti. This is Ken Wilson. After Colin Patterson scored a shorthanded first period goal for the Flames, Doug Gilmore scored his 9th of the playoffs from Sutter and Norwood at 4:08 in the second period to tie it at 1. But then Dan Quinn went to work, scoring on a power play from Reinhardt and Otto at 9:28, and the smallish center picked up his second goal of the night, his 5th playoff goal from McInnes at 11:23. And it is 3-1 Calgary, ready for the third period.
Now the Blues have to come out and obviously forecheck very aggressively and try and get things going in the Calgary zone. They have had some chances, and Dan Kelly mentioned that opportunity by Gilmore that hit the post was a great opportunity. They had some good chances on an even strength situation in the first period. I guess the solution is stay away from power plays and stay away from shorthanded situations, Ken.
It's hard to imagine. They've had 6 power plays and only had 13 shots on goal. Face off at center ice, controlled by Calgary. McInnes to Lube, over the line, quickly, slap shot off Natras's stick and way up into the crowd behind Rick Wamsley. 2-2 in games coming in. The 5th game of this best-of-7 series. Game 6 coming up Monday night at the arena. It's interesting. Over the years in the NHL, there have been 70 best-of-7 series tied at 2 games apiece. 70 of them. And 64% of them have been won by the team with the home ice advantage. 36% by the team that did not have the home ice advantage. In this case, that would be the Blues. So certainly the odds, as you would expect, favor Calgary with 2 of the final 3 at home. They shoot the puck in from center ice. McCowan getting back for the puck. The Blues. Norwood. He's tied up. It comes loose. McDonald trying to center. Leaves the puck behind the net. It comes to the near corner to Risebrow. Both teams are at full strength. Puck comes loose. Out to center ice, and McInnes plays it. He just flips it to Tonelli. John Tonelli with Risebrow and McDonald, and he flips it back into the Blues zone behind the net. Norwood. Here comes Lee Norwood. He's got some skating room. Up to the checkered red line. A long shot, knee high, caught by Mike Vernon. Blues change players. It's McCowan deep in his own end for Calgary. A pass too far for McInnes. Slides through center ice to Walmsley. Ramage is there. Both teams changing. Out to center ice. And shooting it in from there is Pazlowski. Back for it, Sheehy. Hands it to Fedorko. Quick shot wide. Puck caroms to Ramage. Right point. His drive knocked down by Peplinski. He gets it again. Another shot deflects over Vernon. Kept in at the left point by Benning. His shot hits Joe Mullen. They wrestle each other to the ice. Benning keeps the puck in. Auto intercepts. Gets it out to Reinhardt. He's stopped by Hunter. Has to retreat into his own zone. Clears to center ice, and the puck brought in offside by Bernie Fedorko. And the 3rd period now 1 minute and 34 seconds old. The Blues trail 3-1.
Bernie Fedorko tied for the lead in playoff scoring with 19 points. Teammate Doug Gilmour also has 19, and Wayne Gretzky of the Oilers also 19 points. And as we all know, he is no longer going to be participating in these playoffs.
From the neutral face-off, Flames win it. Sheehy shoots the puck in around behind the net. It deflects out to Fedorko. He clears to center ice. Reinhardt leaves the puck, and it's Ramage. He'll wind it up, and the shot head high, caught by Vernon. He leaves the puck for Joel Otto. He's in traffic, pulls away from Hunter, up to Peplinski. It's Peplinski, Otto, and Mullen. Puck shot in. Mullen digs it out of the corner. He centers to Peplinski, to Otto, and he can't get a shot. Here's Mullen, a wrist shot, and he fires it wide. Hunter for the Blues in his own end. A rink-wide pass to Cavallini, and behind the play there'll be a penalty, and it'll be called against the Blues. Brian Benning. 3-1 Calgary in the 3rd period. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Brian Benning goes off 2 minutes for slashing. 2:12 of this 3rd period. Not a good time to take a slashing penalty, and that play was away from the play, behind the play, and Benning, who was tied up with Peplinski in front, and as the puck was going out, Benning just slashed Peplinski. Not a good time at all to take a penalty. The Flames 0 for 3 on the power play tonight will get another chance.
And a bouncing puck at center ice. Tonelli sweeps it back to Lube. Lube and Reinhardt on the points. Reinhardt takes the puck, looks for a play, feeds it on the right wing behind Bozak. It's an offside against Calgary, but a delayed call. Blues will finally play it out of their own end. Pavis shooting at the length of the ice. Mahar out with Reeves and Bourgeois, and Pavis killing the penalty. 3-1 Calgary. They have the man advantage for a minute and a half. McDonald to center ice, to Bozak, into the corner to Lanny McDonald. Behind the net, McDonald trying to get the puck to the point. It's broken up, and it's Mahar 2-on-2 with Reeves. Reeves slowed up by Hawk and Lube, and he just clears the puck to center ice. Norwood plays it there to Mahar. Oh, the Blues are stronger killing the penalty than they are when they have the man advantage. And it's shot down the ice.
And Calgary has given up 5 shorthanded goals in the playoffs. 7 games at home, they've given up 4 shorthanded goals out of those 5. The Blues could certainly use one now.
Less than a minute to go in the Benning penalty. Here's Lube over the line looking for McDonald, and the pass intercepted by Gilmore, and he clears the puck away. Wickenheiser, Gilmore, Ramage, and Norwood in front of Walmsley. Reinhart feeds the puck to Quinn. He's got a pair tonight to McInnes. Off the skate of Otto into the corner. Walmsley way out, banks the puck off the glass. McInnes intercepts. McInnes behind the net, centers Norwood. Blocks the pass out. Then Quinn comes in along the boards, battling with Gilmore for the puck. He digs it out. Gilmore takes a high stick in the face from Dan Quinn, and Dan Quinn will go off for high sticking, and it could be a 5-minute penalty. Don Koharski's going to look at Doug Gilmore. A good time to pull out a little catch-up. So the penalty coming up against the Flames. Still 25 seconds left in Benning's penalty. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Doug Gilmore with some excellent work along the boards as Dan Quinn was coming back on him. High stick Gilmore. Gilmore went down. Referee Don Koharski checked. There was obviously no blood. Quinn goes off. 2 minutes for high sticking at 3:47.
Both teams are shorthanded. Blues from center ice carry the puck back in their own end. Ramage, Norwood, Fedorko, and LaValle. 4 skaters aside. 3-1 Calgary. Long shot off the blocker of Vernon into the corner. Hakan Lube is there. Gets it ahead to Risebrow. He's alone, waiting for some help. He'll circle at center ice. Loses the puck to Fedorko. Benning on. Blues at full strength as Sheehy checks Fedorko. McCowan the other way to Lube. Calgary shorthanded. Lube yanked down. No penalty. Pazlowski in front of Walmsley. Here he comes up the middle of the rink. Bozak on with Patterson, Sheehy, and McCowan. It's Norwood to Fedorko, cutting in on a blind pass. Bozak intercepts and clears the puck away. 1:08 to go in the St. Louis power play. The Blues 0 for 6 tonight with a man advantage. At center ice, Brian Benning organizing. Over to Ramage, to the red line. Ahead to LaValle, to Fedorko, back to Ramage. Over to Benning. He'll let it go. The shot deflected right on. Vernon the save. Behind the net. Bernie Fedorko setting up, shovels the puck, hits the side of the net with it. Puck loose in the corner. Neil Sheehy has it. And he flips the puck the length of the ice right on goal. There's 40 seconds to go in the Quinn penalty and a whistle to stop play. The puck was hit by a high stick, and we'll have a face-off with 14:53 remaining in regulation play. The face-off will be near Rick Walmsley.
Well, earlier, Brian Benning with a good opportunity. Let the shot go from in front. It was high, and Pazlowski, who was right in front, didn't have a chance to deflect that. Vernon made the save, and just the puck skirted off behind the net or into the corner before Fedorko took control.
Blues win the faceoff in their own end. Here's Benning to Gilmore, trying to get around Hakan Lube, and it's tough to do. Loose puck at center ice, and Hakan Lube ends up with it. Risebrow, Lube, Reinhart, and McInnes killing the penalty for Calgary, and the Blues have to go back in their own zone for it. 18 seconds left in this man advantage. Blues trail 3-1 in the third period. Gilmore from Benning into the Calgary zone. Drop pass, Pazlowski back to Benning at the left point. His shot right on, save, rebound. Oh, Pazlowski shoots it wide. Here's Natras behind the net for Sutter by him. Along the near boards, Pazlowski, Flames at full strength. Benning keeps the puck in. Quinn back on. Gilmore spun around. Quinn gets the puck. Can't get it out. Natras keeps it in to Gilmore. He's checked by Quinn, who clears the center ice. And Pazlowski plays it there for St. Louis. He shoots it in, knocked down by Reinhart. Now McInnes carries on to center ice, drives the puck to the St. Louis line, and Dan Quinn has it. Quick wrist shot right on. Walmsley the save. Both teams changing players here. 3-1 Blues trail. They lose the puck at center ice. It's controlled by Eaves. Back to his defense to Baxter. Rink wide for Eaves, broken up by Gilmore. He's spun around, feeds over to Hunter, in front to Beers. He shoots. He's robbed by Vernon. Eddie Beers robbed at point-blank range. Now Eaves in his own end for the Flames. Outlet to McCowan, back to Eaves, flying in on the right wing. He's cutting in, and he can't get around Pavese. Nice play by Jim Pavese. Puck loose in the corner. Here's Lanny McDonald behind the net to Eaves. He's knocked down by Wickenheiser, and the Blues' Charlie Bourgeois gets the puck. There's 13 minutes to go in the third period. Up to Wickenheiser at center ice. His pass knocked down, loose puck, and Hunter can't play it. And Eaves comes up with it for Calgary in his own end. Clears to center ice onto Bourgeois' stick. Charlie Bourgeois just dumps it in as the two teams change on the go. Flames in their own end. They lead 3-1. McCowan up to Tonelli with Otto. Here's Otto over the line. Runs into the Blues defenseman Ramage, who goes down. Benning in the corner. Then Wickenheiser has his stick grabbed away by Otto as Otto takes a spill, and from center ice, Ragland shoots the puck in. Sutter in front. Can't make a play, but the play is whistled dead as Ragland gives a mean glare to Neil Sheehy. And there'll either be an offside or an icing call with 12:28 to go in the third period. And Calgary with 2 goals from Dan Quinn. A shorthanded goal from Colin Patterson, leading 3-1.
The Blues just had a couple of great scoring opportunities. First of all, Paslowski on the power play, all alone in front, had a great chance to score, and the shot was either deflected or he missed the net. And then just moments later, on an even strength, Eddie Beers took a nice pass from Hunter. He was in all alone, and Vernon came up with a tremendous save on Eddie Beers.
It has been a good third period thus far for the Blues. They have outshot Calgary 4-1, but they have not scored.
Paslowski, I don't think he got all the wood on that shot. He had it all alone, and then just moments later, Hunter fed Beers alone in front, and Beers just, I don't know if he missed the net or if it just snuck by Vernon.
May have hit the post.
It may have hit the post.
I thought that was in for sure. It wasn't to be. Otto knocked down. Peplinski breaks his stick. Ramage headmans to Fedorko. Weaving through center ice. A feed to Benning. Both teams at full strength. Benning fans on a shot. Then a drive by Ragland. And Vernon stops that as he spins around. Sutter to Ramage. His drive deflected right on. A pad save as Fedorko's deflection fails to beat Vernon. And Mike Vernon has held things stable for Calgary. Now 2-on-1. Otto Peplinski. Ramage back. Otto moves in. Fakes. He shoots. Stick save. Walmsley. Ramage takes Otto down behind the net. No penalty. The crowd doesn't like it. Brian Sutter has the puck in his own end. Headman's on the wing to Ragland. Back across the rink to Sutter. He'll shoot it in as the two change on the fly. 3-1 Calgary. They're going wild here at the Saddle Dome. Peplinski ahead too far for Reeves. Blues control at their defense. Lube steals the puck. Hakan Lube around Norwood in front. Backhand drive. Walmsley, a dandy save on Hakan Lube. Puck comes high, and it's knocked down by Reed's high stick. And there'll be a face-off in the circle near Rick Walmsley. And this game really now in the third period, Joe Micheletti, with a lot of the tempo we saw 48 hours ago at the arena in St. Louis.
Well, back and forth. First of all, Joel Otto, after Benning tried to pinch in, came in alone on Walmsley. 2-on-1. Ramage took the other man. Walmsley stayed right with Otto as he tried to break to the outside and just got a piece of it. Then Lube with a move on Norwood, let go a backhand shot from a bad angle. Walmsley was able to kick that shot out. Great up and down action by both teams in this third period.
Now 11:23 remaining. Blues out shooting the Flames in the third period 6-3. The period to this point is scoreless. Face-off won by the Flames in the St. Louis end, but intercepting Cavallini and clearing the zone. Quickly the Blues make a line change. Here's McInnes in his own end for Calgary. Stick handling up to his blue line. A pass to McDonald offside. And then McDonald and Norwood bump. And then a big elbow into Norwood's face by McDonald. Sutter steps in between to take McDonald to the boards and keep him away from Lee Norwood, who's now in a headlock, and he yanks himself away from the Calgary player, and tempers are calmed down. 3-1 the score. Calgary here in the fifth game of the Campbell Conference Championship. 11:10 to go. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Lanny McDonald will go off on one side. Lee Norwood also goes off for the Blues. Those will be coincidental minors. Both teams will still skate 5 men aside, but we've had some up and down action here in this third period. And I mentioned earlier the chances that Paslowski and Beers had. Well, the chance that Fedorko had, first of all, on a rebound in front, and then again later on. But back of the play, as McDonald was skating in after the loose puck. He and Norwood got their sticks up somewhat. Down the other side, Ramage with a big shot, deflected, but right in front, Fedorko tipped it. Vernon made a great pad save on that Fedorko deflection.
Face-off inside the Calgary blue line. Fedorko between Cavallini and Hunter. Ramage and Benning on defense. Otto and Fedorko to face off. Peplinski the left wing, Mullen the right wing for Calgary. McCowan, McInnes on defense. Peplinski wins the draw to McCowan. Inching his way to center ice where Fedorko steals the puck. He's tripped by McCowan. Otto tries to shoot it in, hits Cavallini with it. Loose puck at center ice, it's Fedorko. He'll flip it in. Cavallini after it, but Mullen checks him and McCowan beats him to it. Then Cavallini checks Jamie McCowan. They wrestle each other to the ice. Hunter hit by Peplinski, and the puck held for a face-off with 10:47 to go in the third period of Game 5 here at the Olympic Saddledome in Calgary.
They're going to call Gino Cavallini for intentionally freezing that puck deep in the Calgary zone. The faceoff will come outside the Calgary Flames zone, outside their blue line. Meanwhile, Norwood went off for slashing. McDonald went off for roughing at 8:50. Those coincidental minors.
A penalty-filled game in Calgary. Face-off at center ice. Benning charges in on the left wing, takes the shot, and Vernon just gets a piece of that. Now Tadelli slaps the puck to center ice, and Mark Hunter takes it. Leaves it at the Blues' defense for Ramage. He feeds to Benning. Benning's looked really strong tonight. Now to Hunter. Hunter over the line with Fedorko and Cavallini. Hunter shoots. He scores! What a shot by Mark Hunter! And it's 3-2 Calgary.
Oh, what a terrific shot by Hunter. That great wrist shot that we've talked about. He made a play at center ice. Now the key here was Fedorko breaking in the middle. He uses Fedorko as the screen, and as the decoy, he let go of the quick shot. Vernon was looking for the pass, and Hunter just beats Vernon high inside the post with that great wrist shot. That brings the Blues to within a goal at 3-2. Still 10:23 remaining in this third period.
Face off at center ice, won by Calgary. McInnes in the neutral zone. Backhands the puck in. Bourgeois back for it. 7th playoff goal for Mark Hunter. In this series, that is Hunter's 3rd goal. Blues really have played well in this period. A right wing pass to Pazlowski, and it is offside at the Calgary blue line. Joe Micheletti, I felt the Blues played very well in the first period, ignoring their power play. I felt that Calgary just came out, hustled, and took the second period, but the Blues great in this period.
Well, the shot by Hunter, just a great wrist shot. Fedorko was cruising in at the slot, and I think Vernon might have thought that Hunter was going to try and feed that puck through to Fedorko, but he surprised him and let go a great wrist shot.
9:37, the time of the Blues' 2nd goal. Hunter, Gilmore scored the first. Blues keep the puck in, the Calgary end. Colin Patterson on the far boards, gets it to center ice just barely. Bourgeois slaps it back in, offside St. Louis.
Getting back to what you were saying, Ken, about the Blues coming out playing a good first period. The second period belonged to Calgary. Now it seems like maybe the Calgary Flames are starting to go back into a shell, trying to protect that 2-goal lead. Well, it's not working. The Blues have had the better scoring opportunities in this third period, but Vernon has come up with some great saves.
7-3 the shot. St. Louis 3rd period. Here's Benning at center ice. He shoots the puck in. Well, what I like about Brian Benning is the fact that next year he ought to be outstanding, to say nothing of what he's done in the playoffs. Out of their own end come the Flames. A lube pass for Eaves, broken up. Mahar shoots the puck back in. The Blues are really taking it to the Flames in the third period. Lube in his own end, rink wide, nice pass to Patterson with Eaves at the Blues blue line. Eaves pokes the puck in the corner. Benning and Patterson go after it. They tie each other up, and Wickenheiser checked by Lube behind the net. Now a fight breaks out between Brian Benning and Colin Patterson. And more than anything, it's a hugging match. Neither one able to spring their arms loose.
Patterson initially took Brian Benning heavy into the boards. They got tangled up, and then Benning actually dropped his gloves and went after Patterson. Now it'll be interesting to see what Don Koharski calls. 9:16 left to go in this third period. The Blues trailing by a goal. This is St. Louis Blues hockey. Colin Patterson. Both go off for roughing penalties. 10:44 the time. The teams will continue to play 5 men aside.
The Blues back to within 1 on the goal by Hunter from Benning at 9:37.
In the corner, Benning going in to pick up the loose puck. Patterson took him in. Then they both went to the ice, but it was actually Benning who threw down his gloves and then initiated the roughing on Patterson.
Face off near Walmsley. It is Otto against Wickenheiser, and they'll be waved out. To say nothing of Brian Benning going into the corner with that left elbow right in the eyes of Colin Patterson. Both teams at full strength. Now Wickenheiser having words with Ron Finn, the linesman. Ramage will face off with Peplinski. Peplinski, Mullen, and Otto. Puck slides to Walmsley, clears it to Raglan. He flips it to center ice. McCowan there. Playing it back into the Blues zone, and it's Ramage in trouble. Nice spin away from Peplinski. Hands the puck to Otto, gets it back, some open ice. Head manning to Beers with Raglan. The pass broken up. McCowan yanked down, no penalty. Clears the center ice to Otto. On to Mullen's stick. He stopped at the defense. Then it's Pavis to Ramage, on to Hunter, over the line, right wing. To Raglan, a pass for Beers, broken up by Peplinski. Here are the Flames, 3-on-2. Peplinski to Otto, on the right wing, over the line to Peplinski. Back-checking Beers to take Peplinski out. He then throws Pavis down, and it's center ice along the boards. Raglan checked by Mullen. The puck slides back near the St. Louis goal. Both teams are changing players. There's 8:25 to go. Third period. Blues shoot the puck in from their side of center. Back forward is Sheehy behind the Calgary net. It is an icing call against the St. Louis Blues. Flames 3, Blues 2, down to 8 minutes, 21 seconds to go in regulation play.
And the Blues bench. Herb Raglan, the young rookie, had a great chance to get the shot off there. We're going to take another look at this goal by Hunter. A 2-on-2, actually, with Fedorko on one side. Hunter coming across the blue line makes the play. We didn't get a chance to see the rest of that, but he made a great play using Fedorko as the decoy and then letting go of that great wrist shot.
Here's that big line for Calgary for the faceoff inside the St. Louis blue line. Rise, Brow, Tonelli, McDonald, Sheehy on one point, Reinhardt on the other. Blues win the draw. McDonald causing havoc behind the net, but the Blues able to get possession. Then they lose it, and finally it is Norwood to clear the zone. There'll be no icing. Norwood, Natras on defense. Sutter, Gilmore, and Pazlowski up front for Jacques Demir's Blues. Risebrow to center ice, loses the puck. Sutter hands it to McDonald, and he'll shoot it in for Calgary. Walmsley, the out of the crease, plays it into the corner. McDonald intercepts. Wheels it around the end boards to the far corner. Pazlowski there to Natras. His pass hits McDonald, now gets it to Sutter. Look at Sheehy, pinch in from the point. Those defensemen really cutting off the Blues wings in their own end. From the left point, Reinhardt, a shot, bounces right on. Walmsley makes the save, and the players mix it up in front of the St. Louis goal. Now Tonelli and Natras really looking at each other eye to eye.
Now Tonelli, he's one of those muckers, those diggers. He's always in around the net. And he and Natras have been going at it most of the night. Natras certainly has not backed down at all. He's played, again, another good game for the Blues. Rick Natras has.
This is a lot like this series, Joe. I kind of had the feeling going in it was a 6 or 7 game series, and it might go either way, either to Calgary or St. Louis. It's 2-2 coming into this 5th game. The Blues have played well, but you cannot deny the fact that the Flames are a talented team. They played well. They've gotten superb goaltending from Mike Vernon, and with 7:33 to go, this is a lot like the series. It's anybody's game.
Well, it sure is. And Calgary, the Flames, of course, they have an outstanding team. Any team that can beat Edmonton in a 7-game series deserves to get some recognition. They certainly have gotten that, whereas the Blues have had an outstanding series or historically against the Flames.
Flames win the draw. McInnes, a shot knocked out in front. Otto, a drive, and that's wide off the glass. Hunter in his own end ought to just lift it out, and he does. And it'll be played at center ice by the Flames. Here's McInnes. Flames lead 3-2. He loses the puck. Hunter over the line. He's stopped. Now it's McInnes. Head manning out of the reach of Mullen. Puck will slide to Walmsley. He'll leave it for Ramage. 7:03 to go. To Pavis. Blues in their own end. Up to Cavallini at the checkered red line, shooting the puck in. Off the corner board. Hunter beaten to it by Vernon. And Otto picks up the puck, clears it out. Over to Mullen. Over the line. Drop pass, McInnes. Then he's stopped by Natras. Along the boards, Mullen battling there. Here's Eves. Mike Eves for Calgary. Behind the net, shoots and scores. He comes right around and beats Walmsley. Oh, what a tough goal there for the Blues. Mike Eves.
Now Walmsley, who has been playing so well, lets in a bad one here for the Blues as Mike Eves picked up that loose puck. He went around. Now Walmsley doesn't keep his stick over there. He's got his stick up off the ice, and Eves was able to shoot the puck across it. Watch the area between his stick, and it just catches the far post and into the net. That gives Calgary a 2-goal lead with 6:41 left to go. Mike Eves' first playoff goal.
Boy, that's a tough break for the Blues. Not a very good goal. 4-2 Calgary. They have the puck. Here's Eves over the line. Flipping it behind the net. Walmsley knocked aside. Then Benning mixing it up with Hockenloob as Ramage. Stick handles out of his own end. Blues need to go in a hurry now. Ramage over the line. Left wing pass for Beers. Plays it behind the Calgary net. First man back, Colin Patterson. On the wing to Hockenloob at center ice to Eves. He goes around Ramage, who then slices him down, and the puck loose at center ice. And a big check on Hockenloob, who slashes Eddie Beers, and there'll be a penalty against Calgary's Hockenloob for slashing Eddie Beers. Now Hockenloob wants to get at Beers. Tempers flare. 5:58 to go. The Blues hope that their power play has been to the yard and maybe been oiled up a little bit. The Flames lead it 4-2. This is St. Louis Blues hockey.
Hockenloob will go in the penalty box for slashing. 14:02 the time of that penalty. The Blues 0 for 7 on the power play will get another opportunity. Meanwhile, that fourth Calgary goal, Mike Eves, his first of the playoffs, unassisted at 13:19.
Face off in the Calgary end. Puck comes to center ice. Norwood has it. Norwood Natras on defense, stealing Bozak. He'll pull up, spin away into the corner. Then he's bumped by Norwood. Boy, Bozak has been outstanding, killing penalties for Calgary, and he gains a face-off in the St. Louis end. Now the Blues will have a chance to get a face-off and set things up. Ramage is going to come out on one point, Benning on the other. And up front, it'll be Federico, Sutter, and Gilmore on the power play.
Norwood, with his back to the rest of the players, just tried to shoot the puck off the board. Bozak anticipated beautifully, and all he's looking to do is get a face-off, raise the puck deep in the Blues zone, and he did that very effectively.
Now the face-off won by the Blues. Eves, Risebrow, McCowan, and McInnes killing the penalty in front of Mike Vernon. Here's Benning, the youngster, up to center ice. His pass comes to Sutter. Back to Benning at the checkered red line. Over to Ramage. 1:25 to go in the Blues power play. Ramage shoots the puck in. A skirmish along the boards. Flames get it. McInnes clears the puck the length of the ice. Calgary 4, St. Louis 2. 5:12 to go in the third period. Now the Blues, Benning to center ice. Shoots the puck in. Blues have got to flood the zone. Puck behind the net. McCowan gets it. Clears it the length of the ice. And the Blues power play totally inept. 0 for 7 tonight. It's been the difference in this game. Calgary's first goal came when they were shorthanded. Now the Blues shoot the puck in, and he shoots it right back out the length of the ice. 45 seconds left in Hockenloob's penalty. Here are the Blues. Ramage leading the power play. 2 Beers charging down the left wing, and he can't get around Neil Sheehy, and he shoots the puck the length of the ice. Now 30 seconds left in the Blues power play. Natras behind the net. Up on the right wing to Doug Wickenheiser. He'll flip it in wide of the goal. Back for it, McInnes. Playing it off the boards. Beers stops the puck. Now the Blues set it up. Back to Norwood. Left point. Right point, Natras. The shot deflects wide. 12 seconds left with a man advantage. McInnes takes the rebound and clears it back into the St. Louis end. Both teams are changing players. Now there's 4 minutes to go in the game in the third period. And back on the ice comes Hockenloob and the Blues tonight on the power play 0 for 8. Puck shot in by the Flames. Bozak beats Natras to it, thus no icing. Bozak moves in front, he shoots, and a great glove save by Rick Wamsley to rob young Steve Bozak.
Well, Chuck Demers can't believe it. He's tried everything on this power play, and Steve Bozak, who has just been outstanding as a penalty killer, had another great chance. He's just been stick handling his way through these Blues. He's beating the Blues to the loose puck. As he picks it up, Natras attempted to stick check from him. Bozak, a nice move by Wickenheiser, who didn't take the man, and then a quick wrist shot that Wamsley had to get his glove on, and he just held on for the whistle.
Let's tell you about the Blues power play. In the series, 2 for 25. On the road in the playoffs, 3 for 38. And the importance of that is hard to really express. Gilmore and Peplinski will be going off as the players mill around again, and the clock is stopped with 3:40 to go in regulation play. Now Brian Sutter and Joel Otto mix it up a bit. And Ramage and Peplinski having words. Now Gilmore and Peplinski.
Started right off the face-off as Peplinski really threw an elbow at Doug Gilmore. Gilmore went after him. Peplinski gave him the stick initially. This will be interesting to see what the calls are here. In fact, Doug Gilmore bleeding from the nose area. Both he and Peplinski go off. It looks like they're both going to get a couple of minutes here, and both teams will play 5-on-5.
4-2. Calgary leads it. They have outshot the Blues tonight, 27-21. The Blues, however, have had quite a third period after Calgary really took it to them in the second period. But the only goal here in period 3 for the Blues came from Mark Hunter at 9:37 to make it 3-2 Calgary. However, Mike Eaves on a shaky goal beat Rick Wamsley unassisted at 13-19. And the Blues really backed up now with 3:40 to go. Face-off near Wamsley. Fedorko tied up by Risebrough. They take each other to the corner boards and hold the puck there for another face-off deep in the St. Louis zone.
Peplinski and Gilmore both go off, 2 minutes each, high sticking. So they'll sit this one out till the last minute and a half of this period.
Fedorko wins the draw. Natras behind the St. Louis net. Natras, Norwood on defense. Puck to Fedorko at center ice. He shoots it in. Fedorko on with LaValle and Hunter. And there'll be another penalty coming up. And Fedorko poking away at the Calgary player. Didn't do much, but enough to catch the eye of Don Koharski. And Fedorko will pick up a 2-minute penalty. And there have been more penalties tonight than one would really care to talk about.
No, we've had all kinds of penalties all night, but you have to give Koharski credit because that's not the first one he's called like that. He's called a lot of slashing penalties tonight. Fedorko will go off now for slashing, and the Flames, who are 0 for 4 on the power play in the evening, will get a chance with 3:18 remaining in regulation time and a 2-goal lead.
Calgary, at least in the series, has scored a power play goal every third power play opportunity, as opposed to the Blues, who, as we mentioned, are 2 for 25 in the series. 4-2. Calgary leads it. Dan Quinn has scored twice. Colin Patterson and Mike Eaves have scored also for Calgary. Doug Gilmore and Mark Hunter, the goal scorers tonight for the Blues. The faceoff in front of the Flames bench, just outside the Calgary blue line. Blues shorthanded. Mahar wins the draw. Puck slides by Bourgeois. He'll skate back for it. Bourgeois, Pavis, Reeds, and Mahar in front of Wamsley. Reeds loses his stick in his own end, checked by Quinn, and Mahar pins that duo against the boards to gain a whistle and another face-off with 3:06 remaining in the third period.
And if the Blues ever needed a shorthanded goal, this may be their last chance in this game. 3:06 left to go, and they're trailing by a couple of goals here. I'd like to see them try and spring Rick Mahar out near center ice, if they can get control of it right off the face-off here, he can get the draw back to one of his defensemen and just take off towards center ice, have the defenseman just shoot it off the boards down the ice.